Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the second session of day two, second test match of the Ashes, and it is at Adelaide Oval. Now, we saw a very good session from England. They did not lose any wickets in that first session, so now they are continuing to build this partnership. Joe Root bringing up his 50, David Malan also bringing up his 50, and the partnership of over 120 runs at the moment between these two. They are going to be continuing to go at it here. The draw is 50% likely at the moment. Now, anyone who do remember what I said for the start of the last one for the live win probability, it was about 67% in favour of Australia. So now they are only sitting as the 44% chance of being able to win. England just sitting on the 6%. But the last thing that they want here is to lose an early wicket, because we have seen in the past few matches for England, if they lose those early wickets, then it does seem like it is going to be very tough for them to stop that momentum for the Australians. Yo, can't wait. Hi as well, says the two Aussies. Welcome in on hello, Hamish. Thanks again, says Kevin. No worries, man. And hope you are excited for the second session. This one's going to be a big one, because it is whether or not England can keep on cutting down that deficit. If they get themselves another 134 runs, there will not be a follow-on, which is absolutely huge for the English in the situation after Australia getting 473 runs declared for that one as well. But Nathan Lyon, we saw him put in a decent spell, about 9 overs in a row for him, but wasn't able to pick up the wicket. Also went for a few runs, Nathan Lyon, in the end. 28 runs off his overs as well. Welcome in, everyone. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and enjoy the second session as well, says Sebastian there in the chat as well. And then Jai Richardson, also relatively expensive, 3.14 going at per over. 4 maidens, 44 runs off 14 overs as well. They recently trialled Cameron Green, see whether or not he can get something going. It looked like he was pitching the ball up just a little bit more than a couple of the other bowlers, but so far we have seen quite a few edges, inside edges that is, and I have, and some wasabi and mayo chips as well. Says that Nathan, sounds like an interesting combo, that one. And also England are doing so well, but I'm a bit scared as well, says the two Aussies. So anyone who hasn't already, be sure to vote in that poll of whether or not you think that it will be Joe Root bringing up his 100, David Malan bringing up his 100, neither of them bringing up the 100, or whether you think it will be both of them being able to get themselves to that 100 at the moment. I see that maybe the most popular was neither, but then it has kind of cut back a little bit, and it is going to be maybe just Joe Root or both of them being able to get it. We will have to wait and see, though. But at the moment, sitting on 140, they've been doing very nicely here for England. At the start of this day, they were looking under pressure with Rory Burns and Hamid both losing their wickets last night. The lightning did mean that the play was abandoned. We did start a little bit earlier on today. We've got 2 hours now of cricket between these two sides for the second session, and then there is one more session a little bit later on as well. We have got their good stuff. England, my early comments yesterday said England won't reach Australia total. Well done, England, proving me wrong as well. Joe Root, hi, baby. Let's go, baby. Put 200 on him as well. Says Aiden there in the chat. So is that 200 to be the highest run scorer, Aiden, or is that for Joe Root to get 100? Do let me know, because at the moment, sitting on the 57, he's not too far off it. Just needs another 43, and we will have to wait and see whether or not he can do so. But I hope you guys are all enjoying these live streams that we have been doing so far. Neither Will is sitting 40% of the votes. Yes has 30%, just Joe Root 20%, and then 10% have said that it will be just David Malan who is able to bring up his 100 in this one. So you'll have to wait and see how it does go. But at the moment, for Joe Root, it is going to be important that he just keeps on going for himself, keeps on hitting the ball nicely, and also is able to just keep on going alongside David Malan. Joe Root to be able to score himself 100 from here on out. Be very impressive, that is for sure. At the moment, Joe Root, does he get himself the 100? That's the big question at the moment. If he gets over 104, it would certainly help them out. I am just looking in terms of the odds, and they actually think he's $2.15 to be able to get over 104 runs. So that is actually very good odds for Joe Root to be able to make it highest run score as well, says Aiden. So hopefully he will be able to do it for you, mate. But nonetheless, we are ready to go for this next session of the Ashes. Session 2, come on, the Aussies as well there. And the chat says the two Aussies there. The Joe Root, he is currently sitting 11 runs behind David Malan. Still at the crease. Mitchell Starc didn't really bowl too much this morning, but this is now going to be a good opportunity for him to get the ball in hand once again. Just having a little bit of a chat with Jai Richardson. You don't really realize how tall Mitchell Starc is till you see him up against, or like next to, a normal-sized individual, I guess you could say, and Jai Richardson, who's about 6 foot himself, but still looked like he was a child compared to Mitchell Starc. We have got there, I think Root will make 100, but we will get Malan out soon as well. It's paying $2.80 as well, says Aiden there. So hopefully it does end up paying off for you, mate. But 128 now for the partnership between these two men. They have been going very nicely, continuing to build up the pressure on the Australians. And my concern is these two fall, then collapse will begin. Yeah, that is the big issue for England. They need to make sure that they can get that 133 runs so that Australia cannot enforce that follow-on in high either. And that chat as well says, Mr. 18, welcome into the live stream, mate. David Malan sitting on 68 runs of 120 balls, 8 fours, and 169 minutes at the crease. I say Malan will get 83, and Joe Root will get a total of 94 as well. Either of them will get 100 as well. Says Hamish Spencer there. Either of them. So one of them, I assume that is in that regard, unless you meant to have an N in front of that. So it was neither of them will be able to get it. Do let me know. But David Malan at the moment, he is working his way towards that 100 for himself. And if he can get it, him and Joe Root, they are just going to keep on going, try and cut down that deficit of what they do need. But Cameron Green, he is going to have this first over of session 2. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be covering the final day of the test match as well, alongside day 4. Now Cameron Green, first delivery. This one, it's nicely pitched up, and Joe Root, once again, just going to be blocking that one. They weren't really in too much of a hurry, but they were still scoring at about 50 or so for their strike rate. Both men as well. I'm going to day 5 if there is one. So if you're streaming, I won't be there at all as well. Says the 2 Aussies. So hopefully they do get through to day 5 here. And also we have got there, I don't know, but one will get 100 as well. Says Hamish Spencer there. And welcome to the Barmy Army, Hamish Spencer there. And the chat says, Sebastian, I feel like that's a risky statement to make. I feel like now you're going to get an interesting comment from him. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I assume that it is going to be something along the lines of that Australia are awesome and England suck, or something along those lines. But it is going to be Cameron Green currently 2 dot balls in a row here for himself. Joe Root facing 100 balls, Malan facing 120. And these two men, if they can keep on going here throughout this session and the next session, that would actually mean that England, surely they would be sitting more than 6% chance of winning this one. If they can bat out this session, I have a slight feeling that England's win percentage could go up to about 9 or 10%. Cameron Green now just leaving that one outside of the off stump. Was Joe Root not willing to have a little bit of a go at that one? They have still got Ben Stokes will be the next batsman to the crease. And what I will quickly do is I will go like this, and I will go like this as well. There we go. Those are the 2 wickets that they did lose. Rory Burns and also Asif Hamid. Both of the openers are gone. England's next to bat. They have got Ben Stokes, Ollie Pope, Joss Buttler, Chris Woakes, Ollie Robinson, Stuart Broad, and Jimmy Anderson as that one we need out, or we need one out here as well. And so are you doing the Ashes instead of the Big Bash as well? Says, and we will be doing certain sessions going through the slip cord in there for Joe Root, and that is going to be an extra 4 runs. So pretty much we will be doing tomorrow the first 2 sessions, and then we will be switching over to the Big Bash for the final session of the day of the Ashes. We will instead be doing the Big Bash game between the Thunder and the Heat, and then it is going to be on the last day, I believe we will be doing the morning session, and then we will have the Big Bash afterwards as well. And Australia are bad losers as well when things get tough for them as well. Says that Kevin there, and it just going straight off the edge. Steve Smith, he knew that one was through the slip cord, and Joe Root picks himself up another boundary. At the moment, he is sitting on 7 boundaries so far compared to David Malan, who is sitting on 8 as well. Barmy Army in the chat from Aiden as well. And welcome everyone to the Barmy Army. And at the moment, the Barmy Army, they will be in full voice at the ground. Joe Root, they will be hoping their captain can go all the way to get himself the century alongside David Malan, who are both sitting less than 40 away from being able to bring it up. They are actually only 68 runs away from being able to bring up the 200-run partnership as well between these two. Australia, they need an answer, and they need to find a way of getting out both of these individuals before the end. But your prediction was wrong. Are you called for Starc to bowl Malan in the 20th over as well? Says Robert there in the chat. It certainly was. I got it 100% wrong in that regard, and that just shows that my predictions, never believe them, because it is never going to be right as well. How can I block as well? Says Amy Spencer there in the chat as well. But that is going to be the end of the over. 42 overs down, and it's going to be 144 for 2 here. But yeah, pretty much, I guess, the perfect example of showing why I do not try and bet or anything like that is showing my predictions. Like any time that I try and predict something, it's like the rugby. And Steve Smith looks weird on the thumbnail as well. Says it JP there. Yeah, he's a very smiley individual there for that one, that is for sure. And then also Joe Root as well as the other man that I have got there. But Steve Smith, the captain of this game, I actually had that thumbnail made before it was announced that he was going to be the captain of this matchup. And that is due to Pat Cummins being a close COVID case to someone else who was in the same restaurant. Due to them being only casual contacts, Nathan Lyon and Mitchell Starc, they are still able to play. And also we have got the Barmy Army, Stupid Richies as well in the chat. Or our Stupid Richies are better, I think that is. Says the 2 Aussies, and also Perry's and an Aussie as well. Says it Robert there, but it is going to be once again Nathan Lyon brought back into the bowling attack. I should say the economy at the moment sitting at 3.11, hasn't been able to get the breakthrough wicket, but we can see here at the Adelaide Oval, you get some turn, you get some bounce, and he will certainly be able to get something out of the surface, perhaps bowling to the left-hander Malan, the man who was his 400 wicket. That one's uppish, and it's going to be well fielded there from Cameron Green. And they do get through almost for the single, but they do turn him around as well. Steve Smith looks like a cheat in the thumbnail. So it's Martin Kelly there. And that one with the big laughing emoji there as well. But it was slightly uppish from Malan. Well and truly threw the hands at it. And I think that is why it ended up going slightly up in the air. That one in Nathan Lyon. He will be happy enough with that one, knowing that Malan is willing to go at him early. Did Root get a boundary lol, Robert? I just know, I know it's just the English odds were too juicy as well. It's going to be nicely played as well, but pretty much Root did get the boundary through the slip cord, and it ended up going off the edge. It was along the ground, though, so there was no chance of them being able to get it as well. And also, we've got there, what was your first poster you had on your wall, Hamish, as well? Ooh. First poster on my wall might have been, oh, that's a tough one. I think it was actually probably like a WWE Royal Rumble one or something like that. Maybe that is the last one I can remember anyway. Or the very first one that I can remember. That's going to be a nice cut shot there, and that's going to be an extra 4 runs for Malan there. Jad at the moment, 148 for 2. We are going to be covering a little bit of the Champions Cup later on tonight as well. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There are a few games of the Champions Cup, unfortunately, have been cancelled so far, but this one, it is still going to be taking place 2 a.m. time for New Zealand, and it is Harlequins taking on Cardiff. What should be an exciting contest, but Malan at the moment sitting on 72 of 123. The partnership moving up very nicely for these two individuals at the crease, and they have really been the foundation for England's batting lineup in the first test match as well. Marnus Labuschagne at the moment got sunglasses on the top of his helmet. I feel like that's a very risky business to play. We'll have to wait and see whether or not they do fall off the top. They must be good sunglasses if they kind of stick to the helmet. That's going to be nicely played once again by Malan, just keeping that ball along the ground as well. I'll be on later tonight. I might go in a sec. I'll stay for 5 more minutes as well, says the two Aussies there in the chat as well. But England at this stage trailing by 325 runs. They've still got a wee way to go for them to be able to get there. Who are you going for, mate, as well, says the two Aussies there. At the moment, I think the draw is the best option for either of these sides. If Tim Payne was still the captain, would you use a pick for the thumbnail? As well, says Martin Kelly. Probably wouldn't be the best idea for myself overall. I know that George was mentioning it quite a bit recently. Is this going to be Marnus Labuschagne now? Having a bit of a bowl? No, not quite. I thought that maybe they were going to give him a bit of a leg spin. We have got Akil in the chat. Love from India. Welcome into the live stream, mate. What time is it in India at the moment? Do let me know. Believe you must be sitting around that afternoon stage. Or Marnus sitting the side of the knee with that ball by the looks of it, which wouldn't have been too comfortable for him. Kind of twisted the leg round. And it did end up just sitting the side of the knee. I think it might have still clipped the pad, though, so he might be all right there, Marnus. But he might get a bowl a little bit later on in this innings as well, depending on whether or not they can get the breakthrough wickets. It is going to be Cameron Green once again going for 5 runs and over at the moment. Joe Root playing a slightly aggressive style of block, but it is just going to be the dot ball once again. Also 15 p.m. watching from the office as well, says Akil. So welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are having a great day at work, and hopefully you haven't got too much longer for your day as well. But I assume you will be looking forward to that match, 26th of December, South Africa versus India, for that series of 3 matches. Who do you think will be winning it, and how many matches do you think they will be winning? I didn't really like Tim Payne that much. I think Carey is a better batter and keeper as well, says the two Aussies here. I think Alex Carey has certainly got a bright future for the Australians. Going to be hit there by Joe Root down to beat deep backward square leg. I couldn't quite think of the word there for deep. And at the moment, 43.2 overs down. Joe Root has got a very good partnership forming with Malan, both sitting out there. 137 runs between the two of them. And they are getting closer and closer to bringing up that 150. I believe the biggest partnership for Australia was 174 or so. And that was between David Warner and Marnus Labuschagne. At the moment, they have been facing plenty of deliveries, these two, so hopefully they are starting to get kind of the conditions as well. Cameron Green at the moment, the fastest ball he has bowled was 140.8. The slowest ball is actually sitting around there, 137, I believe that is. So he has been working on pretty much, or actually that was the average speed, I believe, trying to get onto that one. Malan just not quite able to pick it up. And also India will win, in my opinion, as well. But rift between Kohli and BCCI might ruin it for us as well. If it doesn't, India will win definitely as well, says Akil there. And why is Lyon wearing sunglasses while bowling as well, says Robert. I think it is just so that he can pick up the ball if he does end up getting a hit straight back at him. I guess, it's not completely, not allowed, but it's just a lot of bowlers do take off the sunglasses. I wonder if there's ever been a bowler who's tried to wear the hat while bowling. I don't know whether or not that is allowed. And also, interesting to hear you say that, but let's be honest, Smith should be the captain as well, says Martin Kelly there in the channel. Also, we have got the going to play some backyard cricket after the end of the day play as well. So it's given this. Hopefully you do enjoy your backyard cricket, being a batter and a bowler, of course, in the backyard. Very exciting stuff. 43.4 overs down. They've almost batted a third of the time that the Aussies were at the crease. And okay, says Robert there in the chat as well. Cameron Green getting that one worked off the leg of David Malan, and this is looking like they will be getting just a single here. No need to risk a run out in a test match. I feel like that's one of the worst ways to get out in a test match, is getting run out. Like, it's just one of those ones that it's an unnecessary risk for you as well. 150 runs coming up for England now. The next three batsmen, Stokes, Pope, and also Josh Buttler, who has been doing decently in the last couple matches for England when it comes to the test matches. Also did well in the T20 World Cup. And come on, you Aussies as well. And the chat says the two Aussies there in the chat. Oh, nice little bit of lift there, I should say, for Cameron Green off the final delivery of that over. Now 44 down. It is going to be 150 for two here as well. So they still need another 123 runs. I think if they can get down to like only being behind at the end of the session by about 200 and I'm trying to think of a number, maybe 260, 250, somewhere around there. I feel like they'll be happy enough. I want both of these batsmen to get big hundreds and put Aussies under pressure in the second innings as well, says Akil. And at the moment, it's looking pretty good for both of them as well. We're just looking at the dismissals for Joe Root in the first innings. Both of them actually came from getting a little bit of an edge, I believe. At the moment, Nathan Lyon, once again, he is going to be bowling here. He's got over 400 wickets, I believe 403 at the moment for himself. The 400th was brought up by getting David Malan out, whereas now at the crease is going to be pitched up nicely and once again blocked by David Malan. Ain't going to have it, mate, as well. Says Damien Spencer there. And also, we have got there. Okay, have a good one, mate. I'll be on later. Hope the Aussies can get Malan and Root out by. Come on, the Aussies as well in the chat from the two Aussies. And anyone who hasn't already, be sure to vote in that poll for whether or not you think Malan and Root will both be able to bring up their hundreds. Points will fall like flies as well. Says Damien Spencer there. Nathan Lyon. Full toss almost coming there, and David Malan just hitting it straight back out to the man at mid-off. We have got there. I hope it does. Will make Ashes more interesting for us neutral viewers as well there. And I want the Aussies to start bowling underarm with gymnastic balls as well. And that it was from Martin there. And now it is going to be Malan on strike, currently sitting on 73 runs. Nicely played once again, not letting this ball through from Nathan Lyon. Needs to make sure that he is solid throughout this whole session. And they need to keep on building it up nicely. 323 is what they are trailing by. I think Joe Root is the backbone of England. If he keeps going, will be good England as well, says Kevin. And yeah, that's the thing. If Joe Root can get himself 150 runs by himself, that will certainly help set them up. If Malan goes out soon, a little bit uppish there for Malan, but he did end up getting one bounce before it went to Labuschagne, who is fielding at the moment at kind of that, I guess you call him a very short cover. I don't know what you would call it there. It's pretty much just off the pitch at the moment. Labuschagne still chatting away to the batsman there, David Malan. A little bit of width there, playing a nice cut shot. It did actually end up reaching for it, though, for David Malan. So we will have to be careful with that shot, or else it could end up finding a little bit of an edge and going through to Alex Carey, who has been pretty good behind the stump so far today. Anytime he has pitched it up just a little bit more, Nathan Lyon has ended up going to the boundary, or not for the boundary, sorry, but just ended up going for runs as well. That's going to be the end of Nathan Lyon's over, and it is going to be 45 over. It's down 150 for two here for the English. So they are building up quite nicely. If they can make it a 50 without losing the wicket, smart planning by the Aussies as well, by starting at the Gabba to get that physical, psychological edge as well, says Akil there. Yeah, they are 1-0 up in this series at the moment. If they do win this one, it is almost completely all over for England in terms of being able to win the Ashes, unless they go three back-to-back, which is going to be very tough for them. But Australia, they have never lost a day-night test. I'm not even sure, have they drawn a day-night test? Ladies and gentlemen, do let me know. At the moment, 39% chance of Australia being able to win this game, 55% chance of the draw here for England and Australia, and then 6% chance that England somehow go on to be able to win it as well. But now it is going to be once again Cameron Green, nicely bowled there. He's found his line and length now, and it seems like Joe Root, it could only be a matter of time. Let's give it a little smile. Goes, that one was a bit too good for me there. At the moment, he is getting them through at a decent pace as well for Cameron Green. That one was about 138, and he's bowling right next to the umpire as well. So he is going straight through. And sorry if my spelling is bad, Hamish. I do apologize as well. Says it, Kevin. No worries, mate. Normally, it is also the fact that my reading, at times when I am trying to read the chat, I sometimes struggle with the words anyway for that regard. So it is all good, mate. Going to be played by Joe Root. Just going to be the dot ball once again, though. Cameron Green still getting it through there about that 138. And if he can continue doing that, I feel like that brings in that indecision of Joe Root. Bowling with a cap on your head is a bit difficult because it gets in the way, or it might be knocked off your head as well, especially for a fast bowler. But spinners can bowl with a cap on as well. And Greg Matthews, the Australian off spinner, sometimes used to bowl with his cap on as well, says Robert there. But yeah, I guess other than Nathan Lyon, how many other bowlers do we know that do actually bowl with the glasses on? I believe, is there an Indian spin bowler who does have those glasses on? A little bit uppish for Joe Root. And it is going to be just the dot ball once again. So it seems like there could be a bit of pressure starting to build for England here. It seems like they're only a little bit away from ending up getting an edge or maybe getting themselves an LBW there for the Aussies as well. But at the moment, Joe Root sitting on 62, David Malan sitting on 73. England, they trailed by 323. It was Cameron Green, first wicket on a green pitch at the Gabba as well, says Nathan Sim. I know that it did take him 47 or so overs to be able to get it, but I believe he got 3 wickets in the last one as well. That's off the edge, and it's going to be taken. Steve Smith gets it, and Joe Root's going to be on his way. Cameron Green picks up the wicket there. Root is gone. Let's go. Palms are falling once again as well, says Aaron Spencer there, but Cameron Green has been able to pick it up. Yes, Nathan as well, says that Robert there, but it was a brilliant line and length from Cameron Green. We did mention that he had found it a couple of balls prior, and that one little bit off the edge of Joe Root, and that is going to be taken by Steve Smith, the captain. Second catch for him so far today, and that is going to be now Ben Stokes introduced to the crease. I believe there will be 2 left-handers here. So this now with that wicket falling, I want to see what that does. That now makes a 50% chance of Australia being able to win this test match, but it is going to be Joe Root, the captain, out for 62 for himself as well. We will go like this, and we will go like this as well. We will go Joe Root. Unfortunately for him, his wicket does fall, and England really didn't want that early on in this session. Cameron Green picks up the breakthrough one, and it was 62 runs for Joe Root off a total of 116 balls. Now making his way to the crease, it will be Ben Stokes, who will have to go out there. Had to bowl hard in the last kind of session and also the day as well. He was out there for a very long time, Ben Stokes, with the ball in hand, and now Evil's got there in the chat as well. AJ's bowls with sunglasses, I think, as well. Says it was Nathan Simon. How are you? Says it was Ayush. I'm doing very well. Thank you, mate. I hope you are doing well as well. And it was off the edge of Joe Root. Good ball to Joe Root, unfortunately, says given there. No spoilers. Alas, bloody wait as well, says Sebastian there. And Joe Root is more like Joe overrated as well, says that Mark Morris, although he has got himself about 1,500 runs this year overall, which is quite a bit in those regards. But Ben Stokes, he is in at 5, and also Graham Swan used to bowl with glasses. Didn't he, Sebastian, as well? Says like Robert Miller there in the chat. But now we do get to see what Ben Stokes can do at the crease. Average of 36.61s. And now the partnership has been broken. It was sitting about 140, and both men were looking like they were set to be able to go on and possibly get themselves 100, but it was an edge in behind. And now Ben Stokes, he is going to be at the crease now for the English. Can they get themselves through to a good position? They need to try and really set these 2 batsmen up here to be able to just go on and get themselves a decent title. And hi, Abash in the chat as well. It says, Warriors fan, welcome into the live stream. I did see that the Golden State Warriors, they were able to get themselves a win. So congratulations there, mate. Now at this stage, it is going to be Cameron Green, currently looking like he wants to bowl a wicket maiden here. Has gone for the 4 dot balls, including that wicket ball to Joe Root, which was absolutely phenomenal from him as well. But now just marking his off stump there. There's going to be 2 lefties on strike. Warriors won today in the NBA, as well, says Warriors fan there. Now, yeah, it's got there. He did as well. See Sebastian there with, it was for Graham Swan. Graham Swan, was he? I feel like I was about to ask a question, was he a spinner as well? But yeah, it's got their holding thumbs. This isn't the collapse for England as well. There, says Kevin. And also, has anyone got a hat-trick in Test cricket? I don't remember. I believe they have at some point, but a good, solid defensive shot there from Ben Stokes. Currently 3 down here for 150 for England, but it was Cameron Green who was able to pick up that one. He just ended up putting it in the right place. The ball ended up going just a little bit away from Joe Root. But right in behind the ball there for Ben Stokes. Needs a miracle innings here for England to really push them through. They still need another 124 runs to be able to stop the follow-on from taking place. But if they do end up getting bowled out before that point, it's not going to be good news for them. Nice ball once again from Cameron Green. And it is a wicket maiden. And he does get the breakthrough. 150 for 3 here for England up against Australia in the second test match at the Adelaide Oval. This match is either minimum a draw for England. They do need if they want a chance of being able to retain the Ashes. 54% chance that the Australians will be able to win this one. And it just shows how much one wicket can change a matchup, because they were only sitting 36% chance of winning this match before that wicket fell of Joe Root, who did end up just bouncing backwards for that one, got the edge straight into the hands of Steve Smith. A little bit of deviation as well, which was helping out for that regard. And Stokes need a big score today as well. And yes, Peter Siddle got a hat-trick versus England 2010 at the Gabba as well, says Robert. And you can see there is a massive tent or something along those lines. It's a massive shed where you can watch it on the big screen. And they were all very happy with that wicket falling. Now Nathan Lyon getting to bowl to David Malan, getting forward. And he needs to stick around to get us 100 here, David Malan. If they do want a chance, we have got their thanks in the chat. Says Nathan Sim there as well. At the moment, Stokes has faced 2 deliveries. Hasn't got off the mark as of yet. But Nathan Lyon, he will quite enjoy bowling to Ben Stokes, because we know that Stokes doesn't like sitting at an end for too long without having a bit of a hit. Nicely bowled there. It's off the edge. Almost taken by Steve Smith. Did it carry? Did it carry, Tom? It looks like by the reaction from Nathan Lyon, it may have. And Steve Smith just not quite able to take that catch. Was going to be David Malan almost on his way. Did it carry there? No, it did bounce to Steve Smith. So he's done nicely there to be able to react quick enough to be able to cut that one off. But it almost was another wicket. England need 2 good sessions consecutively. Not a great start as well. Nice cut shot there from David Malan. Goes straight to Cameron Green as well there. And also, you're very welcome as well from a Robert. I now know what that means, so I feel very hip with the kids, that is for sure. But Malan sitting on 73 of 138. Joe Root, the last wicket to fall, 62 runs off 116 deliveries. Got himself 7 fours for his innings there. Tell you what, Malan once again went for the cut shot, missed it. And Steve Smith was saying he was inches, literally centimeters, in fact, from it being able to connect with that one. But David Malan, he keeps on trying it for that cut shot. And I feel like that is going to be his downfall. If he keeps on going for it, perhaps could end up getting himself into trouble there for it. Going to be outside there. Nathan Lyon just throwing it up a little bit wider, a little bit fuller to see whether or not Malan does want to have a crack. But he decides against it there as well. Currently looking like it could be another maiden for Nathan Lyon. He's actually only had the 1 so far. He's gone for 32 runs in this matchup, but will want to pick up the wicket. Well bowled by Nathan Lyon. That's going to be the maiden there. And the pressure the Australians are starting to build once again. Did you hear England lost points again in the World Test Championship, says Nathan. I hadn't heard that. Did they lose any of their match kind of purse as well? Nathan, do let me know. At the moment, it is looking packed at the moment inside of the building. One of the guys there looks like Bumble, but of course he will still be in England at the moment. I haven't heard him on the commentary. I believe the only English commentator that we have got is going to be Ishigua, but we did see Michael Vaughan in the break as well. He is having Christmas at Shane Warne's house. I did hear as well, but that was a massive edge, unfortunately, for the captain there. Joe Root went straight to Steve Smith. He hasn't really been putting any down so far ever since becoming the captain, just playing at it. Joe Root didn't have to kind of get that one in. Stokes as a Kiwi, I think, as well. Says league zone commentary there. Well bowled by Cameron Green once again. Going to be another dot ball for him. So he has bowled 1 for 17 off 5.1 overs so far for him, and he was able to pick up that massive wicket that they did require there. So Cameron Green, if he can pick himself up 1 or 2 more, either Stokes or Malan, this could be the start of maybe a few wickets in a row here for the Australians. It normally is the case of when you play Australia, if they get 1, the tail goes up, and then that is when they normally pick up their 2nd and their 3rd within a couple overs normally as well, which is why England really need to make sure that they do nicely here and rebuild it as well with Stokes on strike. We have got the I know they lost it because of overrate as well. And it there says it was Nathan Sims. So yeah, still going a little bit slow with that overrate overall, England. It would be interesting. Commentary from Christchurch as well says that Nathan Sims there. Oh, sorry, league zone commentary from Christchurch as well for Ben Stokes. He is at the crease at the moment. I still remember that Ashes innings, him and Jack Leach being able to just bat out an incredible amount of time there. I don't think that's the shot to play from Ben Stokes. Was the short ball. Decided he was leaving it, and then decided to have a little bit of a ramp shot attempt at it as well for Ben Stokes, trying to hit it over the slip corner. And I don't know whether or not that is the shot that you should be playing when this is your first ball or your first scoring shot it would have been. Oh, he was very close there. Mitchell Starc, he was wondering about that shot, but he was happy to see that Ben Stokes looked like he is going to be playing a few unorthodox shots as well. It's going to be nicely bowled, and once again now left outside of the off stump. Cameron Green looking like he is probably going to get himself maybe 2 or 3 more. Ayush in the chat. He said, I am Ayush in the chat as well. So I hope you are doing well, Ayush. I hope you're excited for the rest of the day. I remember him from that World Cup 2019 controversy as well. Says that Nathan Simon, of course, that would be when England were able to get themselves the win. There's a random ball in that situation. I think that was actually them trying to ball track, and it did have a couple weird balls on Ben Stokes' back. Once again, just blocked by Ben Stokes. 143.3 Ks there for Green, so he's certainly getting it going, that is for sure, at the moment. And that is the thing, when you get a fast bowler who gets a wicket, all of a sudden they just steam in, they're ready to go, they want another one. And that is exactly what is happening here for Cameron Green, looking like he is fired up. He was taking quite a while to get his first ever test wicket. I believe it was 40 something over, it was 42 or 47, but now ever since he has been able to do that, he has been looking like he will be picking up many more, including the huge one of the captain, Joe Root, pitched up nicely and well blocked by Ben Stokes. That will be the end of the over. And once again, it is going to be another over for Chris Green. And that is going to be 3 for 150 still here for England. We have got the Hello lads. I've done a lot of live streams this weekend. More coming tomorrow and Monday. 39 new cases. 4 is a new COVID as well. Says it is Brandon there in the chat. So yeah, I think the thing is with at the moment, I don't think it's going to be in that situation of us getting through Super Rugby without some sort of cancellation of games or postponement, because we have seen overseas the Champions Cup, it is having problems at the moment with playing games. Premier League having the same, even the A-League in Australia is also having games. So I feel like maybe the KFC Big Bash might also have a little bit of an impact there. Ben Stokes needs to get going here. No Ducks brother as well. And the chat from Sebastian, also glass of water. So Alfie, I'd rather choose Coke or Fanta as well, says Kevin. I do normally say if I do have a Fanta, I normally have one kind of after the live stream to try and help keep me awake, I guess you could say, when it is a random hour of the night. But we are going to be having the rugby live stream later on tonight, 2 a.m., and it will be the Champions Cup game between the Harlequins and also Cardiff. So that should be a good one. At the moment, the police. Like I was saying, they're a long way away from the middle of the sight screen there, but Ben Stokes needs to get going here as the comment. And at the moment, Malan, he is going to be facing off, leaving that one. Plenty of spin on offer, though, for him. One tomorrow and one on Monday. So, yeah, as well says Brandon there. Malan, he's sitting on 73 of 143. He hasn't actually had a scoring shot almost in the session, to be honest, for him, unfortunately for him, other than I think he got a 4, didn't he, for the cut shot. And also, is that rugby on Starc or Sky as well? It is on Sky. That Champions Cup rugby nicely bowled once again for Nathan Lyon, getting the turn, getting the bounce on this Adelaide Oval surface. And Malan, some of those ones you just got to watch go past and know that if you decided to try and have a feather, no run scored for 28 balls at the moment here for England. So it isn't just David Malan who is not scoring. It is also Ben Stokes at the other end. Straighter delivery there from Nathan Lyon, still in the right place at the right time. He can do this all day, Nathan Lyon, and I think they will be sticking with them for a bit longer as well. We have also got there, perhaps you wear a white suit costume on Boxing Day Test Hamish as well, says that Kevin there. I did try and find my cricket whites for this live stream, but I couldn't actually find them, and I don't know whether or not they would still fit me. But we'll see how we go. It's going to be the cut shot once again attempted for David Malan. He keeps on going for it, but he keeps on missing the ball here for David Malan, and sooner or later he will end up getting just a little bit of an edge on that one. He gets close every time, and it's just missing. So Alex Carey, he will certainly be ready for that one when it does end up with the edge going through. No run score for 30 balls now, almost since that wicket of Joe Root, I would say, was the last time we saw any runs. Nicely bowled once again by Nathan Lyon. That is the end of the 49th over, and as England, they are still sitting on that 150 for 3. So the pressure at the moment, the Aussies are putting a lot of it on. England have a 5% chance of being able to win this game from here on out. But it is not going to be easy. They're just showing the wickets. The highlights that we did see was Mitchell Starc ending up getting the edge straight into the hands of Steve Smith. That was Rory Burns' dismissal. Then Michael Nessa in his first test match ended up just hitting that one Hamid straight to Mitchell Starc, who was there at mid-on. And Michael Nessa, they were celebrating with him big time when he was able to pick up that wicket. And then Cameron Green very recently picking up that wicket of Joe Root. Score prediction for England, Hamish, as well. Says it Nathan Sim. I think it's a tough one. If these two bat around for a little bit longer, I think they will be close to around that maybe 300 or maybe 280 or so by the end of the day. But if they lose another wicket soon, then it could be the chance that they are bowled out for around that 280. It's nicely played there by Ben Stokes. Do they get the single? Does he get it? No. It's a dot ball. So now no run scored for 32 deliveries now When are they going to be able to get it? It was a decent shot from Ben Stokes. Good pitch up delivery from Cameron Green. A little bit of a misfield there. I'm going to be playing Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Noble against a video coming in a new Chapter 2 story mode update. So doing that as well. Says it was Brandon there in the chat. As well fielded there by Michael Nessa. Did almost have the cap over the eyes when he was trying to do it. Bowl once again for Cameron Green at the moment. He has been keeping his bowling extremely straight, and it seems like he's not willing to give Ben Stokes too many extra kind of, I guess, in a way, freebies. Because while you've still got the man on the duck, that is when he's at his most vulnerable face. 10 deliveries, has not scored a run as of yet, and it seems like at the moment, Steve Smith just having a little bit of a chat with, I believe that's Mitchell Starc, who is going to be there in the gully. And Steve Smith's telling everyone to just step up just a couple more steps here for the slip cordon. Good Yorker once again, bowled by Cameron Green. Changing up the length very nicely, and hopefully George will be available for Boxing Day test, if not busy as well, says Kevin. Yeah, depending on whereabouts he does end up. I know that he said for the kind of New Year's he is going to be in, I think it's Wanaka that he is going to be going to for New Year. So he may not be available for the one after that, the one that is on the 4th. But hopefully we will be able to have him here for some of the Boxing Day test match. So we can have more segments of George Learns Cricket, because you guys seem to enjoy that one as well. But at the moment, Stokes, he is yet to get off the mark here. Cameron Green now with a bouncer. Was it off the glove there of Ben Stokes? He took it on there, Stokes. He loves a short ball, and he certainly would have loved to be able to strike that one, but almost getting the glove. But 42 gigabyte update to download as well. Wasn't there a type of spin bowling you could do? Got banned. I forgot what it's called as well, says Nathan Sim. Oh, that's a good question. Type of spin bowling. Because I know at the moment you got leg spin, you got off spin. What was the other type? Do let me know, Nathan Sim, if anyone can remember it. Was it kind of from a wide angle type thing, or was it just something? Oh, it might have actually been, now that I think about it, a little bit uppish there for Ben Stokes. And once again, another dot ball. Was it when you kind of have your arm bent a little bit more? Because I know that there was was he Sri Lankan? Miralifarif. I can't say his name, but I believe his bowling action, everyone thought that he was just throwing the ball. But when they slowed it down, it was just the fact that his elbow kind of bent the wrong way for how he was bowling. And bloody come on, Ben, that's 2 consecutive maidens as well. Says Sebastian, and also g'day, mate. Says TSM on G Fuel as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well, and hope you are excited for Ben Stokes at the crease, currently sitting on 0 runs off 13 deliveries. No runs for 36 balls here. That is 6 overs worth, and it is going to be the end of another maiden. And that is very well bowled by Cameron Green, just not quite letting them get off the mark here for Ben Stokes. And David Malan still sitting on the 73. At this stage, they are talking about the barbecue bacon double cheeseburger, which is a very nice burger. I have had quite a few of those in my time. And each time, I feel like it's the perfect combination for people who do have Uber Eats, like showing all of these ads with food. But we don't have Uber Eats here, sadly. So I just have to sit here and look at all of them as well. We have got that hi from LA and also QLads. I'm going to say that please download Plants vs. Zombies for Navalville. Please, everyone wants to see you again on Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Navalville as well, says Brandon. Unfortunately, that's the thing. The space on the new Xbox is tiny compared to the old one that I did have. Unfortunately, that's going to be a nice shot down the ground. It's just going to be the single. And also we have got there Muralifarin as well, says Martin. What did I say? Muralifarin or something along those lines. But Muralifarin is that man there. And boy in the chat says, was Warriors fan. I know there was off break, lead break, Googly, and Caramble as well. And let's go Warriors as well, says Warriors fan there. Nathan Lyon. Now that's going to be, he must have gone a little bit of bet on that, because otherwise that was going to be plumb LBW, I would have thought, in that situation. But nicely played once again, just to keep that ball out at the moment. I believe at the moment, if I'm not wrong as well, they are actually showing on the All Blacks YouTube channel, the All Blacks versus Australia, the 2021 game as well. And what can I say to my viewers as well, said the Brandon there, unfortunately, I think it depends. I know that my Xbox at the moment, that old one, I haven't actually used it since it blew up or ended up kind of unfortunately going out. I timed you out because you spoiled the wicket, Hamish, as well, says Sebastian there in the chat. Me. Also, we have got that Dustra is a type of bowl that was banned as well. Says that Paddy Wagon there in the chat. At the moment, it is going to be, was there Hamish Spencer there? To time me out because he got an annual fact that England are falling as well. I see that as well from earlier on. I was confused. I was like, me? But then I realized there was another Hamish that we do have on the channel as well. At the moment, Nathan Lyon, they are still trailing by a little bit, but Malan was able to get himself a couple runs at least. And Dustra is the type of ball that was banned as well, says Paddy Wagon. So why was it banned? the doucher, do let me know. Now it is going to be Nathan Lyon bowling it nicely once again. Hit down the ground for David Malan, taking on the run out almost. Get him through, but it does end up hitting him there, David Malan. But the other big thing as well that I will mention here is the fact that there is a fella for T20, and he was kind of sought after by all of the teams because he could bowl leg spin with his right arm, and he could bowl leg spin with his left arm, I believe it was. And he could kind of do either arm. Would have been safe there for David Malan. And also, we've got there, so I can say no, or you can going to try your best as well, says Brandon there in the chat. And also, we've got a few faces in the chat from Amy Spencer there as well. But now at the moment, it is going to be Nathan Lyon once again. 3 runs off this over so far. So it has broken that streak of a hold for very quiet ones. Nicely played once again. And that is going to be the end of the over. Now 51 overs down and 153 for 3. So now England trying to rebuild another partnership with Malan and Stokes, who is still yet to get himself a run in this test match after 15 as well. Have you been watching the Super Smash today as well, says Jane? Unfortunately not. I haven't been able to watch any of it. I'll probably watch the highlights of the games though afterwards. So stoked for the Harlequins game later this evening. No easy game. Confident Harlequins win. As well, says Kevin, yeah, should be a good one. Harlequins will lose as well. Says Harry Spencer there in the chat on Kiwilers. What do you want me to say as well? Says up Brandon. I think at this stage, with the fact that I haven't got the storage, it means that even to download it with my internet speed would take like 2 days anyway for it as well. But at the moment now, it is going to be, who is it? I believe it will be Cameron Green once again. Surely they keep him bowling to Ben Stokes just because at this stage it seems like Ben Stokes, he will be keen to get himself underway. And I think if he does go for that pull shot once again, maybe drop the ball short here. No, they're going Mitchell Starc. Okay, I will just be quiet because I have well and truly misread that situation, perhaps trying to get a little bit of extra pace on the ball, and it will actually be David Malan with on strike. 2 live games on TV1 at 10 a.m. in the morning as well. It was a legal bowl. As I said, Betty Wagon, and there is a young tennis player coming through who only plays forehands with both arms as well, says Martin. See, I feel like that's the thing. People who are ambidextrous, I believe that's how you pronounce it, like they are just like, that's the thing. Imagine that, being able to go right. There's a left-hander batting at the moment. I'll just bowl leg spin. Okay, now it's the right hand. I'll just bowl with this arm instead. Oh, that was close for Mitchell Starc. Little inside edge, though, from David Malan. And they are trying to pick up one more wicket, perhaps, before the next little while. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to vote in that poll for whether or not you think that David Malan will be able to bring up his 100. In fact, I will actually change that poll because it is no longer, I guess, too accurate because of the fact that it was in the end, the fact that Joe Root has gone out. So I'm going to end that one, and I will add another one in. I can't remember the name, but certainly game-changing as well. Look at the impact of reverse sweeps as well, says Martin Kelly there. Exactly right. It's all about, I guess you could say, just ending up changing, like, I guess just changing angles and all sorts as well there. But it's nicely bowled, all good Yorker there for Mitchell Starc, and almost through the ball. And Malan, a little bit of the intimidation factor there. And I will go here. Will need a capital letter. Will David Malan get 100? There we go. We'll just stick it as yes or no. Will David Malan get himself the 100? Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in that poll that I have just started in the chat. Also, if you are new to this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we are going to be back for the final session of the day as well. But Mitchell Starc just sitting there. He feels like he was pretty happy with that one. We have got straight away no was the first vote there as well. And now it is going to be Mitchell Starc. Oh, it's at the pad there, but it's going to be outside of the line there for David Malan. And can you have Forza Horizon 5? So we can maybe, what do you think as well? Says a Brandon there. I do have Forza Horizon 5, although I believe it needs an 80 or not an 80 gigabyte, but I know that it needs a big update because I know that me and Isaac were going to play it, but it wasn't updated at the time, unfortunately, and I haven't actually updated it as of yet. But Alex Carey there just appealing behind the stump, seeing whether or not umpire was going to be given that one, and straight away Mitchell Starc's going, nah, come down, boys. That one's outside of the line. At the moment, Malan, though, he's under pressure to try and get himself to that 100 for his side. Ben Stokes still scoreless at the other end after 15 deliveries. That's going to be a nice cut shot there from Malan. Plenty of speed on it. That's going to be the 4 runs for David Malan as well. Currently moving up onto 80 runs, only 20 short of the century, and it is a good shot once again. Who thinks faster bowler? Currently Mitchell Starc or the other guy from Pakistan team? Pretty quick too as well. I assume it is it Harris Ralph that you are talking about, Kevin? Because he can certainly whip them down at 150. I'd actually say Harris Ralph is probably quicker. We're seeing Mitchell Starc, though, depending on the format of the game, depends on how hard he goes as well. I want to see your water glass as well, says Mahdi there, Mohammadi there in the chat. We'll show it in a short moment, perhaps. But you'll never guess what shape it is. Might be the same as yesterday. Is the same as yesterday as well. It's going to be the edge. Steve Smith takes it, and now Malan falls. And that is going to be both Malan and Root. Both gone now for England, and they have got two new batsmen at the crease now. What day are you going to be playing? Can I join when you're doing it as well, says Brandon? I'm not too sure whether or not we have got a day in mind yet with Isaac working, but hopefully we will get a chance to play it before the new year. But it may be in the new year that we do get up. Mitchell Starc, he just got that wicket of Dawa Malan off the edge straight to Steve Smith, who swallows it at second slip. He has taken 3 catches now so far as the captain, and that is going to be Dawa Malan now out. And now they have got 2 new batsmen at the crease with Ollie Pope, who will go like this as well. We will go like this. Dawa Malan at the moment, he will be disappointed with losing his wicket. Definitely in such an important time in the innings as well. We go like this, and we go like that. Dawa Malan ends up losing his wicket. He did end up getting himself 80 runs off 157 deliveries. There we go. We go like that, and we go like that. And now Ollie Pope will be making his way to the crease as well. Ben Stokes currently sitting on a duck, or not sitting on a duck, sorry, and also 3 runs off. Damn, guess a Malan score as well, says Nathan Sim there. And also we have got there, what will Australia do if they bowl England out, says Shane. I think as long as England need more than about 220, they will enforce the follow-on, just because they haven't really had to bowl too much yet, and it is one of the coolest days that they are having. England falling like flies as well, says Amish Spencer. And unfortunately, I can see follow-on incoming for England as well, says Kevin. Yeah, it does depend on how long Australia want to make this test match for themselves, because they could make it a lot longer if they decide to have a bat, if they want to split up the bowling. But I would say with the way that the surface is going to be becoming more and more of a better surface, they've still got Travis Head who can bowl spin, and Marnus Labuschagne. I think they'll be fine here as well. And also exactly that. Sadly, now I can see it being over today as well, says Marnie. I don't know whether or not they will. That's the thing. They may get bowled out today, but if they do, I don't think the match is going to be over today, though. I think they will still be able to be out there for the game tomorrow as well. But at the moment, Ollie Pope made his way to the crease, currently sitting on 0 runs off 0 balls. Stokes sitting on 0 runs off 15 balls here as well. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I better change that poll again. I think they're just trying to jinx me. I just made the one of whether or not Dawa Malan will be able to make his way to the 100. I've got to change it once again here. And now it is going to be Ollie Pope on strike. Mitchell Starc steams in down the leg side. Almost a little bit of a feather there, but wasn't quite able to catch up with it. Exactly that. Sadly, now I can see it being over today as well. And I bet with the rain tomorrow as well, and declare second session as well there, says Robert there. And the new ball under the lights could be devastating as well, says Martin. Yeah, they did get a little bit of it yesterday, but they didn't quite get as much of it as they would have liked with the thunderstorm or the lightning. What do I do as my poll now? We've run out of options almost. Agree. Second test. I won't last 5 days tomorrow. Finish as well, says Kevin there. Right. That was the big edge there, Dawa Malan. And it's kind of ironic that was the time that he went out to a pace bowler for that cut shot. He's tried it many times with Nathan Lyon, just never quite got on it. You're going to do cricket 22 soon? I am indeed. I'm hoping to be able to start it up probably straight after Christmas or somewhere around there, or maybe even in the build-up to Christmas with this test match coming to an end relatively soon. But Stokes and Pope both have not scored any runs. Who? Here we go. We'll go like this. Who will get the most? Maybe outside of the off stump. Who will get the most runs out of these players? One moment, ladies and gentlemen. I am quickly typing. That is a dot ball once again for Nathan Lyon. And will Malan get his 100? No, as in the chat says Barter there. And also when will Australia win poll? Nicely delivered there by Nathan Lyon to Ben Stokes. So we will go Ben Stokes. We will go Ollie Pope. We will go, who else we got? We have got Josh Buttler. And we will go, while we're at it, we'll go Chris Woakes on that list as well. Nicely played once again. So do let me know in that poll, ladies and gentlemen, who will get the most runs out of these 4 English batsmen? Will it be Ben Stokes? Will it be Ollie Pope? Will it be Josh Buttler? Or will it be possibly Chris Woakes? That is as low in the order as I'm going just for now. We don't want to jinx them too much. And would you like me to suggest captain and vice captain for fantasy cricket for upcoming BBL? Go for it, mate. Do let me know who you think will be going well. Do you think Maxwell will be able to have a good hit the next time out that he is there? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. And also, anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. What's win probability now? So England at this stage, 4% chance of them winning. Australia back up to 67% chance of winning. It just shows how quickly that can change. And that was a big old sweep shot attempted by Ben Stokes. Nathan Lyon, big smile on his face. He knows that he has got into the mind a little bit of Ben Stokes. But 29% chance of the draw. So it just shows literally how quickly it can all change with a couple wickets. This is bollocks, mate. Same stuff after test after test, sorry, as well. Root and Malan falling within 2 hours apart from each other, and the upcoming lads are afraid to swing as well. Oh, bit of a wrong in there from Nathan Lyon, it looked like, and I don't think England players were on form coming into the Ashes as well, says Kevin. At the moment, the votes are coming in. Is it going to be Ben Stokes? It looks like actually it's Josh Buttler who is receiving most of them as well, and Australia will win tomorrow or early day 5 as well, says that Shane Hayes. Oh, Nathan Lyon at the moment doing decent for that bit of spin, but Steve Smith taking 3 catches so far. He hasn't been able to pick up the wicket as of yet, but Nathan Lyon seems like he is still going to be continuing the bowling. He might as well. He's having some very good overs and possibly could get that breakthrough with 2 left-handers at the crease. Mitchell Starc now will once again be bowling to Ollie Pope and Mohammadi. Here is my glass. It is a similar one to the one that I had yesterday. In fact, it looks identical, and that's because it is the same set as the one that I did have yesterday. Hydration. Now it is going to be Starc outside of the off stump, and it is going to be left there. Nicely done. We have what's got there. They couldn't beat New Zealand at home because Devon Conway is the best batsman currently for New Zealand this year as well. What rugby games are you doing later? So we have got the game at 2 a.m. that will be taking place between the Harlequins and Cardiff. And then the other game we are doing is Monday night, 2 a.m. as well. And that is Leicester taking on Connacht. We had a couple more games planned, but unfortunately, a few of them have been cancelled. We were going to be doing the Wasps game, and also we were going to be doing the game with, I think it was Stade de Francais and Bristol Bears as well. I like this one as well. Says Mohammadi there. And the chat as well. Thank you very much, mate. Glad you enjoy this glass out of the set. And now it is going to be Mitchell Starc bowling it nicely. Pitched up delivery. Ollie Pope now is yet to get himself a run as well. So both of these men, they have faced 24 deliveries combined. Yet to see a single or anything along those lines. But it is going to be the pressure cooker who Australia played before the Ashes as well, says Kevin. I know that we had the T20 World Cup. But before the Ashes, who did Australia have? I can't remember the last test series Australia had. Was it Bangladesh? Maybe a little while ago. Is it Ashes fantasy as well, says Nathan? I'm not too sure whether or not they do have it. I guess if they do, it is a lot easier to probably pick the players in that regard since there are less options for just the two sides. Nicely played once again, almost getting it through, but Cameron Green good fielding the pressure, still trying to build it up here for the Australians who are sitting 70% chance of winning this match now compared to what they were just before, which was 36. Just shows how quickly a game can change, that is for sure. But Australia, now if Mitchell Starc can get himself another breakthrough wicket, he is moving up in the wickets overall for Australia. He's had 63 matches, sitting on 260. The next man up, it is going to be McDermott, who is sitting on 291. But Starc at the moment, he's getting closer and closer, trying to chase down Shane Warne, though that would be very tough to do, and I don't think he's going to be doing that either, him or McGrath. And also, I think India as well. Here's that Nathan Sim there. And their last one is going to be nicely bowled once again. I know that they had India last year for the Boxing Day test because we had Pakistan, I believe it was, for last Christmas, which that's the thing. Last Christmas feels like it was about 6 months ago, and it's actually like a week away from Christmas now. We're actually going to be live on Christmas Day, not actually during the day, but during the night of Christmas, because we will be live for the Big Bash at Christmas Eve, and that will be running straight through to past 12 o'clock. So we'll actually be live for a little tiny bit of Christmas. So be sure if you're staying up late on that Christmas Eve, although it's probably not the best idea to stay up late because of the fact that it will be sitting relatively late in the evening, and then you probably got a lunch or something tomorrow for it as well with the family. But it's going to be interesting to see how that live stream does do on the Christmas Eve. I think this will be the first Christmas Eve live stream that we have done on the channel as well. We did upload a video last year with Santa playing for the All Blacks on Rugby Challenge. Don't know whether or not we will be doing that one for this year, but I'm sure that we can find some sort of Christmas-related video to see how it does go in that regard as well. But do let me know which game that has a Christmas-related theme would you like to see us play as well. I know that Dead by Daylight, maybe it's got something Christmas-related. Surely they seem to do quite a few DLCs on that one. I can't think of other Christmas games. What other games have Christmas in them? Now Starc pitches it up nicely, and that's going to be the run now for Ollie Pope. Oh, it was a run-out opportunity almost, but Nathan Lyon just not quite able to get it out of his hand. That's going to be the end of the over. Pope gets off the mark now, and it is going to be one run off 7 balls there. And that is going to be the end of the over. 4 for 158 here for England after 54. So I think I would say if England don't get themselves within the 200. Australia, if they haven't bowled any more than maybe like 80 overs, they might go for it as well. 50 people having lunch Christmas Day at mine as well, says Nathan Sim. Geez, that is a big lunch. That is for sure. Your ham will be absolutely massive. I was thinking the turkey alongside it maybe. How many hams do you have to get for 50 people? I feel like that's quite a bit, isn't it? In terms of the pot of spuds, you're looking at probably a bucket and a half of spuds or something like that. You do need to have it as well for the 50. And also, may I go with Lynn as captain and Hales as vice captain as well. Says Mohammadi there. So both of them possibly having a good performance in that heat versus Thunder one as well. Who else are you having in your fantasy side? And what website do you use for your fantasy team? I don't actually use any of those like fantasy ones, but I feel like it would just prove how bad I am at predicting. So it could be worth a crack maybe. See you guys on there, and then they'll be like, that's the thing. If it's out of 100, I'll probably get like 3 out of 100 in terms of points wise. It is going to be once again Nathan Lyon now bowling to Ollie Pope at the moment. Right hander here for Ollie Pope. Can he get something going here? And I think 3 turkeys, 2 ham, 2 pork, and some eggs and sausage for the kids as well. Says it Nathan Sim. Yeah, you don't want to waste that good ham on the children. No, surely not. But now it is going to be Gazza. Nice delivery of the ball once again for Nathan Lyon. At the moment here, he has been pretty economical so far. 35 runs of his first 15.1 overs. He did actually go for 9 runs in one of his overs as well. But it is going to be 158 for 4 with 54 overs down at the moment for Australia. Nicely bowled. Once again, if he pitches that up just a little bit more for one of these variation balls, he might be able to get Ollie Pope with LBW, although it's extremely tough when it is spinning this much to be able to get an LBW. So it's more than likely it would have to bowl him, or he would have to get that little edge for Marnus Labuschagne to possibly take the catch. Although saying that, Steve Smith, he has caught everything else that has gone to him and put some pudding with money in it, and some pudding with money in it as well. Says Nathan Sim, that's well bowled there. He had to play a shot, or else that one was probably going on to the stumps. If it wasn't outside the line, we always got there. It's same old era for England Test cricket, all about cricket building partnership as well. Says Kevin, and that is something that we were mentioning about the Australian innings. Every time they lost a wicket, they would build another 50 or so run partnership and just keep that kind of ticking over. They need to make sure that these two here can bat long. Nicely played there by Ollie Pope. Once again, England trail at the moment by 315 to avoid the follow-on. How many overs left in this session as well? Says it was Shane Hayes. So at this stage, we have been going for just under an hour. So we've probably got another 15 or 16 overs here before the end of this one. Now 54.4. Well played there. Almost gliding it down to that third man angle. Just not quite able to get it through. Ollie Pope at the moment here sitting on 1 run of 12 balls. Ben Stokes still yet to score a run here, sitting on 0 runs of 21 deliveries. They've been bowling extremely well to him. And also Pope, who is still struggling. They almost had the run out opportunity the last time that they did take the single there. Well played by Pope. Got right in behind the line of the ball. And that is going to be the end of the 55th, 158 for 4. Another maiden there for Nathan Lyon. So I feel like he will just keep on bowling until they can do something about his bowling. And they don't seem to be able to quite read him. They're showing there Ollie Pope did end up losing the wicket in his first match at the Gabba. And it was actually Nathan Lyon who was able to pick him up as well. I believe that would have been in the second innings that he was able to get it. And Steve Smith was able to get that catch as well. He's been taking everything that has gone to him today. It looks like Nathan Lyon once again got the cap from the sideline, or the baggy green, I should say as well. Michael Nessa, of course, presented that today, or yesterday, or the day before, because we're on day 3. It's been flying by the Ashes. I feel like I'm going to be sad once it's over, because Test match cricket, like, you get so much cricket to watch every single day, and each day you know that it's going to be just a little bit different from the last. Like today, that first session, it didn't go the way that I don't think many people expected, and that was for England to be able to score around that 100 runs, 120 runs, I think it was, and just keep on batting out for those two. But then the second session of the day has gone back in the favour of Australia, and now Mitchell Starc will be bowling to Ben Stokes outside of the off stump. Ben Stokes once again leaves. He's not in any hurry at the moment. Be able to line this one up. He was able to pick himself 3 wickets with the ball as well. Who is that? I think that's Nathan Lyon just doing a bit of stretching. I'm not sure whether or not that's a cool down, or whether he is just making sure that the body is still good. 16 overs so far bowled by him, and 6 maidens for himself as well. And also in Boxing Day Test, England have to make a few changes. I keep James Anderson and Brody in the team as well. Says it Kevin Thomas. Yeah, I think you've got to bring back Mark Wood and use his pace. And then probably, I'd say Dom Bess is another option that you could have yourself for the MCD if you didn't want to go with Jack Leach, that is. Although they might bring Leach back in for that one. Nicely bowled once again by Mitchell Starc. And once again, another dot ball Ben Stokes up to 23. I wonder if this is the most dot balls he has had in a test match before scoring a run for Ben Stokes, because I know that he's normally a player who normally starts pretty quickly for when he gets the opportunity. At the moment, Nathan Lyon. So there we see someone with a massive Scooby-Doo costume in the background. That would be very warm on a day like today, although it is only about that 25 degrees rather than the temperature that we did have yesterday, which was sitting around that 35. So it's certainly a little bit more pleasant for the Australians in the field at the moment, which is another factor of why they may decide to enforce that follow-on if England cannot get there. But it is going to be now Stokes. Nicely whipped off his legs. That is going to be the first run of the match now for Ben Stokes, moving up onto one run of 24 deliveries. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to vote in that poll that I have got in the chat for who you think will be able to get the most runs at the moment. Leading the charge, it is Ben Stokes. He has got 52% there, and also Josh Buttler sitting at 33. Chris Woakes the lowest, and Ollie Pope second lowest there. How many they are going to be able to get? I'm hearing a Scooby-Doo impersonation from one of the Australian commentators there. But that is looking very hot indeed to have a Scooby-Doo outfit on at the cricket. But it is dress up day, I believe. The Bummy Army quiet as well, says Shane. They aren't making a huge amount of noise at the moment. Normally, it seems to be when they are bowling that they really try and fire up their side. So it has been relatively quiet here in kind of recent times. I think it is because the momentum has slightly changed in favour of Australia. And also, we also got there Joe Root and Ben Stokes pull-up socks as well, says Kevin there in the chat. And like they're saying at the moment, he's wearing the Scooby-Doo costume. It's going to be very, very hot indeed. He'll be sweating up a storm inside there, but he's going to stay in it for the full day. So respect him, I guess, as long as he is drinking beverages. That's going to be up in the air from Ollie Pope. Nicely played, though. Cut off on the boundary. No, Jai Richardson doesn't quite get down to it. And it does become 4 runs, unfortunately. And England now, first boundary in a little while. Like he said there. Oh. Okay. Like they've said there, Jai Richardson, the reason he didn't dive there was actually a little bit of reasoning behind it. He didn't dive because a little while ago, a couple of years back, he did actually dive for the ball and ended up dislocating his shoulder and was out for a very long time. So that's why he ended up trying to flick it back in and just wasn't quite able to. But I feel like a lot of people would be like, if they didn't know that side of it, which I have just heard, I feel like people would be like, oh, where was the commitment from him as well? But I feel like that's slightly fair enough if you have got a dislocated shoulder from the past. Nicely bowled once again for Starc. That's going to be the end of the over. And that is now going to be 163 for 4 here. The 56 overs, are they going to be able to get themselves one more wicket in this session, ladies and gentlemen? Do let me know. And if they do get a wicket, do let me know who you think it will be. I feel like it could end up being Ollie Pope. I feel like I've just got that feeling. I think we're going to get to see the Josh Buttler and Ben Stokes show for a little bit. That was a loud noise, accidentally. Now, at the moment, hydration, you got to love it. There is still 1 hour left of this session, ladies and gentlemen. And then after that, we have got the final session of the day. And then after that, we've got a little bit more action because we are going to be covering the game between Harlequins and also Cardiff. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it is usually appreciated. You guys will be in our England trail by 310. They will still be trying to slowly wear away at that total and see whether or not they can get themselves down to needing less than 200. It's going to be pitched up. Beautiful delivery from Nathan Lyon. Little bit of flight on that one. And Ben Stokes just trying to go out, meet the pitch of the ball, but it was just spinning too much for him there as well. Very well bowled by Lyon. That one spun a mile there. Ben Stokes, he actually looked like he played it not too badly, other than the fact that the ball just kept on going. Nathan Lyon at the moment, he will be looking forward to getting the bowl later on and the next day as well. Well blocked there by Ben Stokes. At the moment, still a lot of pressure on these two batsmen to try and rebuild this partnership that they did have between Root and also between Malan. But at the moment, Stokes sitting on 1 run off 26 balls, very similar to what we saw for David Warner in his first innings of the Test match. Going to be the cut shot played there by Ben Stokes. Going for the single and Cameron Green cutting it off. Having boysenberry ice cream with chocolate sauce as well. And there says Nathan Sims, that sounds all right. Because at the moment we are sitting 15 degrees here in New Zealand. It's actually been relatively hot today compared to what we have been used to the last couple of days. Like it's been raining and all sorts. At the moment, can't see. Oh yeah, the sun has gone down a little bit, unfortunately, but it's still relatively muggy here at the moment, mostly cloudy at the moment. I believe we're sitting about 10 degrees less than they are in Adelaide at the moment. It is a nice afternoon session that we are seeing of the cricket, and then we have got one more cricket session a little bit later on, and that is going to be the evening, which we know for the last hour, that is when the ball does all sorts. And that is when Australia are going to have a new ball to be able to use as well. So I wonder whether or not they take the new ball before that last hour or they wait. Oh, that's a good one. That's going to be the wicket. Yes, it is. And Ollie Pope now going to be on his way. I think he went straight upstairs, though. He feels that he hasn't hit that one. But this could be Ollie Pope gone here, depending on whether or not he was able to get it here. Still saying he said it hit my arm as the goal there. So as long as it hasn't glanced, as long as it hasn't glanced the glove, it is going to be not out. But he is saying straight away, Ollie Pope, he was saying it's hit my arm. So, right, what are we going to see here for Ollie Pope? It is Nathan Lyon bowling that one beautifully. Ollie Pope, pitch of the, it's just at the forearm there. So I believe he's going to be completely fine there. Yeah, that's going to be not out. And I think Ollie Pope, he will be fine. And at that situation, we're looking for a hot spot to see whether or not there was any bat or anything on that. It doesn't look like there was bat on that one. It was just hitting the forearm. Now, for this to be out, it would have had to hit the strap of the glove. I guess it's the easiest way of describing it, but it has not done that. It has hit him in the forearm. And that is why straight away, even before the umpire had fully put up his finger, he was going upstairs. Going to be changing this one. Okay, so this is going to be all right. Best bowling coach of England needs to sort out no ball issues as well. So he's given, they've had a lot of them, that is for sure. But it is going to be changed to not out here. And now Nathan Lyon will once again be bowling, but almost able to get that breakthrough wicket for Ollie Pope. Now this stage, Pope sitting on 5 runs of 17 as well. At the moment now, Ollie Pope, he will have to try and take that one out of his mind. Oh, he almost got caught down the leg side there. Okay, let's go there. And there's our bowling coach of England. Needs to sort out the no balls, but we have seen a lot of them as well. I agree, Kevin. See Shane there as well. Yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately, there's been that many of them recently that we just pretty much expected almost. That's the thing. When they finally got Labuschagne out, when he was on 102, and then it was a no ball from Ollie Robinson, that would have just been the massive kick in the teeth for the English. But then luckily they did still get Labuschagne out just a little bit later on, advancing down the wicket. That one's out now for Ollie Pope, and there is no question about that. He did advance. Nathan Lyon picks up the wicket only a few balls after he was given out last time, and that one they cannot really end up asking the question about that one. He did advance. He did connect with it, and it is going to be the wicket of Ollie Pope falling there, and that is going to be the 5th one down for England now. Ollie Pope, he is going to be out for only 5 runs. He did try and use his feet, hit it straight into the chest of Labuschagne, who wasn't ready for it as well. We will go like this, and we will go like this, but it is going to be Ollie Pope who has been added to that list. Ollie Pope, and he was able to get himself 5 runs off 19 deliveries. First wicket for Nathan Lyon. They have persisted with him for so long, and he has finally been able to get that one as well. We will add this one, and we will go like that. Right, Josh Buttler now making his way to the crease. I said that it would be Pope who lost his wicket next, and I said we were going to get to see the Buttler and also the show with Ben Stokes. And we also got that David Warner in the first test as well. So he's given exactly right for Ben Stokes. Unfortunately, getting that one a little bit wrong. But at the moment, Australia, they are starting to take a few more wickets in this session. England did so well in that last one to get them in a good position. Australia now a 74% chance of being able to win this test match. The way that the live odds are sitting, 3% chance for England, but they still need another 900, or not another 900. Tell you what, if they need a 900, if anyone needed 900 for that factor, that'd be very tough. That is for sure. But at the moment, they still need 309 runs to be back. Even with Australia, they will need 110 runs to be able to get themselves in the position of it being able to keep on going here and maybe end up not enforcing the follow-on. But we will have to wait and see if they lose a couple more quick wickets, I should say. Pretty much, if both of these men go, Stokes and Buttler, I don't think we're too far away from seeing England losing all of the rest of their wickets that they have got. So hopefully these two can put together a good partnership and they can bat long here for the English. Finish out the session without any more lost wickets and also maybe end up batting through the next one as well. I was going to scull the whole thing, but I decided against it. because we do still need a little bit of hydration. We have still got another 55 minutes left of the session. What is the highest team score at international level as well, says Nathan Sim. Oh, I know that it was Brian Lara as an individual with the most runs. But I did see that there was a partnership between two batsmen, and I think it was like 600 runs or 400 and something runs a little while ago. One moment. We will Google it as well while they are talking to Mitchell Starc. Highest score at international level as well. Highest test innings score. We'll see what comes up here for it as well. So it was, 1938. It was 903 for 7 for England, and they declared, they were like, you know what, we're better for 900. That seems like enough. Then also England, 849. That was in 1930 that they were able to do so. West Indies in 1958. The most that we've had in recent times is 21st of February 2009, and that was Pakistan, 765 for 6, and they declared for that one as well. Whereas the highest that Australia's got on that list, they actually got in 1955. Australia were able to get themselves 758 for 8 declared, and also England in recent times. We're going to try and find an England lineup from the past like century. August 2011, 710 there as well. But at the moment, they are showing the excitement there as well. Well, that man, New Zealand, what do we got? 2019 up against Bangladesh, we actually got 715 for 6 declared as well. We'll take it. Decent. That was a job. But Australia, they were 9 down in this one. I'm wondering whether or not that's the thing. It depends on the batting surface. But if it's really a batting surface rather than that bowling surface, can get you in a lot of trouble when you are just out on the field all day, just bowling and bowling and bowling. But Stokes at the moment, he is sitting on 2 runs off only 27 deliveries. Mitchell Starc here looks like he is going to be bowling now. Nathan Lyon, perhaps he gets himself the next over as well. They just keep on persisting with Lyon, because if he isn't getting too tired, he might be able to just keep on going on and doing great things for his side here as well. But Mitchell Starc now has got himself 2 wickets in the early stages of this one. 2 wickets for 34 off the 10. So he's been a little bit expensive, but wickets are definitely what they're after. Now teams can't get 500 as well, says Nathan Sim. Yeah, back in the days, imagine batting 900 runs in a row. Like, how many overs would that have taken? Nicely bowled once again from Stokes. I'm actually going to Google it. I'm going to find out how many overs it did take for them as well. So the date scored for that one, it was up against India for the highest score was Sri Lanka in 1997. Is actually a new one there. But that was in 2 innings, I believe it is, if I'm not wrong, compared to the 1 innings there for England. And that's a long time ago. That's like test number 266 in the world. Right, I am going to quickly Google this one as well while we are at it. A man faced 847 balls. Leonard Hutton. Has anyone heard of him? Nicely bowled there by Stokes, just a little bit down the leg side, and it is going to be worked away for the single there once again. Also, he was able to get 364 runs for that effort. Run out for Maurice Leyland. He wouldn't have been too happy because he had faced 438 balls at that point for 187 runs. And then also a number 8 or so, or number 5, 6, 7, or someone along those lines, 400 balls, 169 runs. They faced 335 overs. Did they win the test match, though? I feel like that's a bigger question. They were able to... Australia were actually the opposition in that game, and Don Bradman was injured, absent from being hurt. So that tells you everything you need to know. Without Don Bradman in the Australia lineup, it seems like didn't quite go the way that they would have been after. But now at this stage, 165 for 5. Don Bradman, he'd be pretty happy with that scoreline. If he was, of course, on the bowling lineup rather than the batting one, it is going to be outside off the off stump. And Josh Buttler, once again, is going to have just the dot ball off the very first delivery that he does face. But yeah, imagine, like, that's the thing. I feel like that is kind of something that I've seen people try and do on Cricket 19, Cricket 22. And it's kind of like that challenge of trying to bat out a full session. Look at ESPN Cricket Info, more reliable as well there. Says that Nathan Sim there in the chat as well. Do you guys want to see me try and bat for a full 5 days on Cricket 22 and see if I can do it? I feel like I would get extremely repetitive, but I feel like I would work out the batting technique by the end of it. That is for sure. Mitchell Starc, nicely bowled. Josh Buttler looking like he is going to play the way that he normally does, which is aggressive. When he does get a little bit of a bad ball, similar to Stokes, they will be twirling this ball, and they will be putting this one away, I should say, to the boundary. And then Ollie Pope, he used the feet and ended up just, unfortunately for him, chipping it straight down to Labuschagne. who was literally right next to the pitch. And he knows that was a bit of a disappointment. It's interesting how momentum works, because normally when they have a big appeal or they are given out, normally it isn't too far after that you do actually end up losing your wicket, similar to Marnus Labuschagne in that first innings, how he did end up having that no ball where he was walking off the field, turned back around, scored one more run, and then went on his way. Beautiful delivery there for Starc. Good pace through to the keeper there, Kerry, as well. 145.5 Ks. Josh Buttler at the moment. England, they are trailing by 308. They need a good partnership soon if they do want a chance of putting it together. At the moment, this will show Marnus Labuschagne. You can see there, he watches him advance and he starts going alongside him as well. Gets a step over and then he was able to take the catch there. Marnus Labuschagne, go for it, Hamish. Will be interesting to see how you do. And also, we have got there, have you played cricket captain as well? Says it, Nathan Sim. I don't believe so. At this stage, what console is it on, or is it a different game? That's going to be uppish. But Marnus Labuschagne fields it at short cover. That's the end of the over now, and it is still going to be 165 for 5 here. And they are just showing the heat map there to Nathan Lyon versus Pope. It was a good battle between those two that we did get to see. There were a couple close appeals in the end with whether or not they were going to be able to get him out. That was the original one that they thought was out, but it came off the forearm of Ollie Pope. Marnus Labuschagne very happy with that one. Now, this is the thing. At this stage, they have lost 3 wickets so far in this session. The 2 set batsmen in Root and Malan, and then also they have lost Ollie Pope, who is very good at batting time as well. Josh Buttler, he's an aggressive man at the crease. Same with Ben Stokes. So these two, they don't like being held down here, and they will know that really the big thing here is to get that 109 runs rather than just, I guess that's the thing, trying to bat time up against an Australian lineup. They will just keep on persisting, keep on putting it in the right spot. Definitely with Nathan Lyon, sorry. It's well bowled. And it's just going to be the dot ball there for Ben Stokes. It's got there. It's a PC game where you just manage the team. It's basically a manager game as well, says Nathan Sim. I have not played cricket captain, but maybe I will give it a little look. Is it on Steam or is it like an online one? Nathan, do let me know. The moment Stokes on strike, 3 runs off 30 deliveries. He is just getting nicely behind that ball. I would say that Labuschagne is definitely in the game right here where he is. He's right in close and he will be ready for a little bit of an outside edge or something along those lines from Ben Stokes. Maybe he pushes at the ball just a little bit too hard. If Nathan Lyon pitches it up just that little bit more, might be able to break through and get the Stokes wicket. That's a good region of the pitch as well, but it is going to be covered nicely. Australia not really leaking too many runs in the recent kind of, I guess even you could go as far as saying the whole session, they haven't really been letting them get too many. And Steam, I think, as well. Here's it, Nathan Sim there. At the moment, our Stokes going to be on strike once again, sitting last 45 balls, 12 runs, 2 wickets, and 1.6 and over. That's a good one for Nathan Lyon. It's a brilliant sweep shot from Stokes, but if he did miss it, that would have been very close to the fingers waving like this for Nathan Lyon. He loves doing that in his appeals, but that one, good shot from Stokes, getting his first boundary. That will give him confidence. Hits the ball nicely. No one back there at deep square leg as well. Just a little bit too straight from Nathan Lyon. Steve Smith there, though. He is still happy with it. Getting Ben Stokes to sweep, I feel like, is a good thing for them, because if he mistimes it, hits it into himself and it bounces up, Labuschagne will be jumping on it. Pitched up outside the off stump, seeing whether or not Stokes wants it. Decides against it in the end. Nathan Lyon at the moment, he'd love to be able to pick up the wicket of Stokes. He has been able to get him in the past a couple of times as well, and it's normally when Stokes plays aggressive to Nathan Lyon that he does end up picking him up. So this, that's the thing. It's 4 runs against Nathan Lyon, but he will take that as a little bit of a win because he now knows that Stokes is willing to sweep him. Just blocking behind that one once again there, Ben Stokes. Nathan Lyon, I think he was asking the question to Ben Stokes, do you want to hit it out through cover? And Ben Stokes is just going, nah, not doing it. But that is the end of the over, and it is going to be 169 for 5 now for the English up against Australia, who did declare on 473. So that meant that they did have a very decent total. That's the thing, 450 for them, or actually the original 400 that we thought they might declare on wouldn't have quite been enough if they did want to get into that situation of being able to enforce the follow-on, although we don't really know yet whether or not that will be what they do, but they have still got a good opportunity of being able to go out there, get a couple more wickets in this session. They've still got another 45 minutes left of this one, and then they will have another 2 hours and a half possibly later on tonight if the overs aren't going through. England look dangerous as well. Says Amish Sound. Also, we have got there We have got there. Sorry, I've gone silent. I'm just contemplating as well. Says Sebastian there in the chat. Yeah, hopefully we can get to see a good partnership between these two and really try and bet a little bit more time as well. We have got the high Hamish. What have I missed? England making the expected comeback as well. Says David, unfortunately, they have lost 3 quick wickets. David Malan, Ollie Pope, and also the captain, Joe Root. So now they are sitting at 5 down. But hopefully, that's the thing. If England don't do well, I am just praying that the Harlequins win this game comfortably, Sebastian. I really hope they do for you, mate. And I think you said the score would be 30-12 or something along those lines, didn't you, for the Harlequins? But they should be able to get the win. They are at home. They have got Marcus Smith, Alex Donbrandt, all those good guys. Joe Marchant out on the wing, but no Lewis Liner. He's going to be coming off the bench instead. I think you did say. Now that's going to be Mitchell Starc. Pitches the ball up once again. Left by Josh Buttler. Patient start to this innings for him. Stokes sitting 7 off 35. Buttler sitting on 0 off 6 as well with the Aussies and forced to follow on as well, says Sean. I think if they can get these guys out, it depends on how it goes as well, because if it does end up in that situation of, I think if they still need 230 or so runs, or if they trail by about that, and it is the evening session, I don't think they will let them go into that situation of allowing England to have a bowl at the end of the day. I think they'll keep that ball in hand and they will try and pick up those couple early wickets like they did last night in that session as well. So I think it all depends on when they bowl them out, if they bowl them out. Or I guess I should say when they bowl them out, because I think that's the only way. Like, England aren't declaring here. That is for sure. And also we have got there with the Aussies and also follow on. And also we have got there if England get close to Australia total, and so you're a POM fan as well. Says Amish Pizza, I love seeing a test match go the full 5 days. We did only get to see about 3.5 on the first one, or sorry, 4.5 on that first one. So I'd like to see one go right down to the wire. Indeed, I predicted a bonus point win for the Quins as well, said Sebastian. So yeah, hopefully they will be able to get the job done for the Champions Cup. And they will actually put them probably top of the table with the other games that have been cancelled and postponed and all sorts along those lines. But now it is going to be Josh Buttler who will be on strike. It is Mitchell Starc once again steaming, and it was a big lofty drive attempt there from Josh Buttler. He will be kicking himself there for trying to chase that one, and well, and the chat as well says Hamish Spencer there. And the chat as well, also we've got their 5 for 169 at the moment for England. 2 balls left of Mitchell Starc's over. It's going to be going nicely across the man, Josh Buttler. That's so close to the outside edge for that man, and if he had connected, could have been the end of his innings, and it would have been 6 down into that situation as well. But at the moment, David Warner, he is going to be hoping to take a catch at the moment. Everything's getting a thick enough edge, though, to go to the captain Smith, who has taken 3 from 3 catches so far for him today. But Josh Buttler still yet to get off the mark. Slow start, similar to what it was for, good fielding in the gully from Cameron Green to be able to cut that one off. 145.9, still keeping that pace up here, Mitchell Starc. Pope was the last wicket, 5 for 19 as well. And Hamish middle, or sit in the middle, he actually Kiwi can support both sides, I suppose, as well. Says Kevin, and you guys will know this about the rugby commentary in terms of the fact that I always try and sit impartial for these ones, just because or else then if I'm like completely on one side or completely on the other for the team or the side that do support the team that I'm not completely like 100% behind, then it is a lot harder to watch the live stream when I'm just going on about how well one team is doing rather than both of them for their individual moments. But Starc at the moment, 5 dot balls in a row. Josh Buttler solid behind that one, and that's going to be a maiden there for Mitchell Starc. I think they will just keep on bowling. Nathan Lyon at this point, they might as well. And also, OMG, what happened to England bowlers or batters as well, says Music Kiwi. Unfortunately, the wickets, they are just going to be showing them here. It was Cameron Green who was able to create the opportunity, taken by Smith in the gully, or sorry, in the second slip as well. So he was able to pick up that big wicket of the captain, Joe Root. Then it was the edge from David Malan. He had been trying to play that shot all the way across. And now it is going to be advancing down the wicket. Ollie Pope just gets that one slightly wrong as well. And also, they didn't know that give. Thanks, mate, as well. There's Amish Spencer there in the chat now, but it is going to be Marnus Lavishane. Very happy man at the moment. Also, you're impartial, Amish, as well. Says that David, I am indeed. Like, that's the thing. I just love watching these two sides play off. Like, I feel like even if it was Netherlands versus Tonga in cricket, do Tonga play cricket? Probably not. They could probably hit a long ball, though, to be fair. But if it was like Netherlands versus, who's the team from the Cricket World Cup who didn't quite do too well? Namibia. If it was Netherlands versus Namibia, I'd still watch that game and still probably enjoy it. But because I know these players a little bit more, I think it does mean that, like, I kind of know a little bit more of the backstory about them as well, which does make it a lot of fun in that regard. But Nathan Lyon currently bowling another 9 overs in a row or somewhere along there in Wellington Blaze tomorrow as well. And also, you're enjoying the stream, whoever you're supporting as well. And the chat says a bashing there in the chat. And now it is going to be Ben Stokes on strike, cut shot from him. Nicely hit, but straight to the man. They've got a very well set field. Also, we have got there Namibia. Did actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie, they did actually make it through to the next stage, didn't they? Did they make it through to the Super 12? Was it Namibia I'm thinking of? Because I know that it was Ireland also, I think. No, sorry, Scotland made it through. And player rankings for T20. And Oman player is ranked 6th as well, says Nathan Sim. Can you remember the name? Nathan, do let me know. I know that David Malan is actually ranked number 1 in the world when it comes to that kind of T20 rankings as well. And also we have got the Netherlands are coming to New Zealand. Exactly right. That will be a very nice series. And also, yes, from Music Kiwi there. And the chat as well. Yeah, they had a couple good players. I believe it was, it's that middle water fella. He's an absolute unit of an individual. I think he's like 6'5". Can anyone think of his name? The one that I'm thinking of. He's got long hair. It's from Namibia. He's probably about 37. Nicely bowled once again from Nathan Lyon. He will be going till he's 37 here for Gazza. How old is Nathan Lyon? I'm actually going to look that up because I don't know. He's deceptively I don't know how old he would be. I don't know how old he looks either. Nathan Lyon, he's 34, so he's going for another 3 years. He'll be there at the next Ashes, surely. Unless, of course, the fingers ends up well and truly ruining all the webbing on them as well, which we did actually see. Was it in England last time that he didn't end up with a little bit of problems with the webbing on the fingers? So he did actually have to have them all taped up. And also we have got their Visa. That will be him. Is it David Visa? If I'm not wrong. And also we have got their hi from Depth and Brief. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. Nice pitch up delivery once again for Lyon. At the moment, just keeping that pressure on. 5 deliveries gone so far in this over. And it seems like Nathan Lyon might be able to get himself another mate. I'm looking forward to the All Blacks versus England next year as well. And also, I believe we get to see the rematch between England and South Africa, which will be pretty awesome. I'm back as well, says Warriors fan. Welcome back, mate. At the moment, Nathan Lyon doing good for himself. Nice cut shot there from Ben Stokes. Straight to the man, Michael Neser, though. That will be another mate, and England will win as well, says Valentine there. And too bad they got hit for like 70 in the next 4 as well, says the Music Kiwi there. And also we have there, yep, says that Nathan Sim. And also I'm looking forward to the All Blacks. And also they forced the Black Caps to 100 runs from 16 overs when New Zealand batted as well, says that Music Kiwi there. Yeah, that's the thing. Scotland, I think Scotland had a very close game with the Black Caps as well. We didn't really do that well in the group stage overall, but luckily we were able to get through to the point that we needed to and made it through to the final, where, of course, Australia were able to nail us. I know it was Zizan, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maksud is our man all-rounder in 6th as well. And also hi, and a chat from Warriors fan. And there as well, Mitchell Starc going to be continuing. I feel like the sun is starting to slowly set here at the Adelaide Oval. It will still be hot, but the Australians, they will be used to it. It is currently 6:31 p.m. local time, which means we will get an hour of play right at the end of the day where Australia might be able to clean up that tail as well. It's going to be a good shot there from Josh Buttler. Once again, another dot ball, though. It is going very well, and we lost it, and I'm still crying as well. Says that Music Kiwi there. And it was a tough one, but we are used to losing World Cup finals by now, unfortunately. And England actually know a little bit about it in terms of being able to beat us, and the Black Caps are hot and cold as well, says David there. And also we have got there, I like Australia, and also Australia playing New Zealand in a T20 series a little bit later on. I believe it's a 3-match T20, and we go over there for 3 ODIs as well. I'll jump off for a bit, mate. Be sure to like and subscribe, folks. Also, please, don't spoil the action in the chat. Thank you and enjoy as well, says Sebastian. We will see you later on, mate, either for the next session or hopefully we do get to see you for the Harlequins game, where they will be able to get themselves a bonus point. Beautiful delivery once again. Are you going to do preseason rugby F showing as well? Says Shane Hayes. I believe we actually did last year, didn't we, for Super Rugby? So if they are showing it here in New Zealand, I will end up covering those games as well. They're always hard to work out who's what number, just because they end up rotating everyone pretty much at halftime. But if it is on, we will go for it as well. We have got there, got Man Warriors fan as well in the chat for it was Hamish Spencer. And also we have got there Warriors Sakra as well. I assume he is a Golden State Warriors, or actually he is a Golden State Warriors rather than the Warriors for the NRL, because we know that they are not going the best at the moment. But when were they? You know, it's unfortunate. It's been a while for a Warriors fan, if we have got any in the chat before, or since they have been able to do really well in the NRL. Definitely now losing Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as well bowled by Mitchell Starc. And once again, another dot ball here. Just a few minutes, mate. And so don't worry, as I said, okay, so we will see you back at a short moment there, mate. But yeah, hopefully England, we will get to see a few runs come up for Josh Buttler in that time. 0 runs so far of 13 deliveries. Ben Stokes sitting on 7 runs of 41. I'm not too sure how many runs we have had in the last 50 balls or so. It hasn't been a whole lot as well. Both Warriors suck as well. Says that Music Kiwi there. Jabba at the moment. Overs required 95, I believe it is today, that they do have to try and get through. It's going to be Steve Smith as the captain for the Australians as well. There is a moth on the wall. I don't know how it got inside. Maybe a window is open, but that is going to be now through to Alex Carey. Only 169 runs at the moment. Also, get some sleep. It's tough being a Pommy fan. So says average sets are there. And it was just that little jab in the ribs. Sebastian, he was already wounded, and you're like, you know what? I'll just give you one more. Just one more in the rib cage, just so that you feel that one. And also, we've got their Shut Up Music Kiwi as well, says Warriors fan. And there as well. But at the moment, the Barmy Army, they are still singing. Not too sure. Then not even in time. There's one group singing one thing, one and the other. What happened to the New Zealand Breakers last Sunday? Had a big lead and lost as well. Or had a big lead, and lost. Says Jane Hayes. I know that they went to overtime, and the more recent one edged and caught by David Warner. Josh Buttler out for a duck. And it is going to be the third wicket for Mitchell Starc, and that is Josh Buttler gone on the duck as well. So now Ben Stokes, him, and Chris Woakes will have to get combined as well. Zimbabwe will play better than England as well, says Bernard there in the chat. Josh Buttler now, he is going to be on his way. Starc, you beauty as well. And Buttler is useless as well, says Aaron Spencer. And also, we have got there, did someone tell me to shut up, bro? So says Music Kiwi, and also Starc, you beauty. Said a mark, but it was taken by David Warner that time. Able to hold it nicely. That's the thing. All of the catches so far have gone to Steve Smith, but he was still alert enough to be able to take the one. Josh Buttler out of 15 balls for the duck as well. And that is now going to be another wicket for the Australians. We will be updating that one, and it will be now Chris Woakes making his way to the crease, and we will go like this, and we will go like this as well. Josh Buttler, there we go, Josh Buttler, and we will say that he got 0 off a total. It sounds like I'm making it up, but I just couldn't quite remember the number. It was 0 off 15 that he did get himself there. There we go. We will put that down, and we will go like that as well. But nonetheless, now going through, hopefully I spelled Buttler right, and also we have got there Stokes Shooty is alone as well. And there says Khan, and also I said Buttler would get the most runs prediction off. As I says Nathan Sim, and also we have got there, will Australia force to follow on as well. I'd say if they get the next few wickets before 250 runs, like with England being 250 or more out, I think it will be in that situation of they would enforce the follow on just because they know that they've got the evening session coming. And also with the fact that there is rain in the forecast, you can't afford to be batting and then you get rained off for a whole day, because then all of a sudden you don't have too much time left as well. Buttler would have done good if it was golf as well, says Music Kiwi there. And also we have got there, they will, and if they can go any risk of the draw as well, says Mark Morris there. And it's all up to Ben Stokes now, says Prestige. It is indeed, although best test score here for Chris Woakes. He's not a terrible batsman at all. 137 not out. I believe he actually opened the batting one day and was able to get that. Like literally the only players from England that have batted well as Malan and Root, as well as says Prestige. There. But at the moment, I guess I should probably change my kind of poll. At the moment, Ben Stokes, so 59% has said that he will be able to do the best. Ben Stokes is going to choke. Sorry, England fans as well. Says it was Music Kiwi there, but now it has Mitchell Starc bowling his final ball of this over. And at the moment, it's the Starc and Lyon show. Those two, the dynamic duo for the Australian bowling lineup. And it is just left outside of the stumps by Woakes. And that is going to be the end of the 62nd over. 169 for 6 here for England. And Australia now, we look at the difference. Australia sitting a 79% chance of being able to win this one. And Starc has just been persisting outside of the off stump. He's actually been pitching it up pretty nicely as well, Mitchell Starc. And just waiting to see whether or not Josh Buttler wants to try and play it. And then eventually it was the wicket ball, just the fullest of them all. And that was the wicket that he was able to get. Only Malan has batted consistently root out a duck to start his Ashes as well. See that Mark Morris. Yeah, Malan has been impressive. Like, that's the thing. With him being ranked number 1 T20 player in the world, to also be able to come into this test match and be able to just keep on performing is very impressive. And Starc is a dangerous bowler as well. Says Shane, he is indeed. And yeah, but he obviously made a good amount of runs on his other innings as well. Says Prestige. It will once again be Nathan Lyon bowling. Stokes, they take the single, and Woakes now will be on strike. I hope they bat like this when Black Cats face them in the middle of the next year as well, says Music Kiwi. I bet you they don't. They will probably get themselves like 500 in the first innings and then just well and truly destroy us. It seems to be that one that sometimes, depending on the team that they play, depends on what you get to see. Is that going to be in or where are those games going to be played, Music Kiwi? Is that in New Zealand or is it overseas that we have got that? Malan got out for a few runs in the first innings too as well. Says Prestige there. And the jab at the moment here, it is going to be Chris Woakes. At this stage, it's looking like the evening session is going to be going all the way over Australia. I'm so disappointed. England are so much better than this. They're playing really gutter, I think, as well there, says Kevin. Now it is going to be Nathan Lyon. Gaza trying to get the spin. It's going to be a good bit of spin as well in England as well, says Music Kiwi. Oh, so that's going to be in the middle of the night. I'll still probably be up for it and be watching along with those matches as well. So anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we are going to be back for the Ashes, the next 3 test matches, and also the BBL when it does start up in only a couple of days' time. It is actually going to be tomorrow night at about this time as well. In half an hour's time, that's going to be a big bit of spin there for Nathan Lyon. And given it's the same as when New Zealand went to Aussie a couple of years ago as well, and we got smashed as well. I was actually at that first matchup of that series, the Boxing Day test, got to see that. Joe Burns wicket early on or Trent Bolt bowling Joe Burns, I should say, and then from there it just went downhill. The Kiwis giving him a bit of width there. Plenty of turn and bounce here for Nathan Lyon, which is why he won't be minding this at all. As long as his arm doesn't stop working here, Nathan Lyon, he will probably bowl another 10 overs in a row. He's bowled 10 in a row here, and he doesn't look like he's fatiguing at all, and it looks like it is really troubling the English batting lineup. It's a better length, and it is going to be coming off the edge. So C. Smith, he won't mind just keeping him out there. If anything, maybe you go with either Travis Head or Marnus Labuschagne if you still want to go with that spin option, but Nathan Lyon just doesn't quite have the juice left in the tank required. But anyone who is new to the channel, like I mentioned, we are going to be back for the latest session today and also a little bit of rugby at 2 a.m. New Zealand time. The next session, it will be getting underway at 9:55 p.m. We will be starting our live stream, and then 5 minutes later, it will be kicking off, and that will be till about 12:30 perhaps if we do not get through all of the overs that they need to. But England trail at the moment by 303 runs here. At the moment, it is just that first delivery, a lot of spin on offer here for Nathan Lyon. I feel like that must be very distracting having Marnus Labuschagne's shadow there, right kind of in the middle of the pitch as well. So if Nathan Lyon can aim for that, kind of where Marnus Labuschagne's head is, maybe you get that going decently as well. Warner can do some spin surely as well, says Music Kiwi. That's the thing. At this stage, he was holding the ball for a majority of the kind of innings that he wasn't batting out there. Once he did go out, he was just holding the ball, flicking it around. Maybe he has got a little bit in the tank as well. England lifted themselves up. Can't afford to have their heads dropping now as well, says Kevin there. And are you going to get any rest between games as well, says Shane? Probably not. I will end up eating some food in between the cricket and the rugby. But then after that, after the rugby game, I will be heading to bed. Even though there are games on later on in the night, I think I will end up possibly passing on them in terms of even watching them till the replay, because I think it is 6:30 as the next game that we have got on offer if we did want to watch one. One moment, I can actually see this information for myself. We go like this as well, and it would be, 6:30 would be Glasgow versus Exeter. So I've decided I'll take that one off as well. But anyone who doesn't know about the sevens, it was actually announced what the pools are going to be for Malaga, which I will get to in a very short moment once we do have this end of the over as well. Going for a McDonald's run as well, says that Music Kiwi. I probably will not, because it is a McDonald's run for me is half an hour away and then half an hour back. So it's a little bit far away for us to go to McDonald's, but 170 runs at the moment for England to avoid the follow-on. They will have to get themselves another 104 runs here. But Buttler, he was disappointed with that one, and oof, as well, says Music Kiwi. Yeah, we don't even have Uber Eats either. Problem with living in a small town, I guess. You don't really get too much of the fancy fast food. You just got yourself your local fish and chips, which aren't too bad at all, if I do say so myself. But David Warner able to take that kick as well, or take that kick. We're not playing cricket, not yet. Well, we are playing cricket, sorry. We're not playing rugby yet. Mitchell Starc there. Once again, bowls it nicely. And Hamilton 7's on next year as well. See, Shane, that's a good question. I know that we've got Malaga twice in a row, and then I'm not too sure where they head from there. Unfortunately, our Uber Eats mate as well, says Nathanson. We have not got it here. Unfortunately, even like that place half an hour up the road, I don't believe has Uber Eats yet. The nearest place that has Uber Eats, I believe, is around kind of Dunedin and Christchurch, or maybe Timaru and Oamaru have started kind of incorporating some form of it as well, but we have not got Uber Eats here. Unfortunately, like for them to travel here, you probably have to pay them like $100, which might be worth it depending on how much McDonald's you have got yourself. But it will be cold, unfortunately, which just isn't quite the same. Starc, once again, nicely bowled. A little bit of the in-swing delivery there from Mitchell Starc as well. Currently 2 balls left. Stokes still sitting on 8 runs off 46 deliveries. He's just getting pegged down at the moment here. Much appreciated for cricket streams. Keep us entertained. Amazing cricket as well. Says Kevin there, and I appreciate you guys all being here. These games, they just fly by with you guys. Invercargill have Uber Eats. As I was just saying, I might have to move to Invercargill then, so that I can get myself some Uber Eats stuff, because here we don't really have much. I thought you lived in Auckland. I don't know why I'm done. So, says Music Kiwi. I mean, if we did, though, McDonald's, KFC, we could have just had it all ordered. That is for sure. At the moment now, Mitchell Starc coming in. It's nicely bowled once again. Mitchell Marsh. He is another man with the name Mitchell. He is going to be playing in the match that is coming up for the BBL when the Perth Scorchers take on the Hobart Hurricanes. That was accidental transition, but I'm going to roll with it. So pretty much the games that are coming up, that is going to be the Monday night game. That will be the final session almost of the Ashes as well. If this game does go right down to the wire, they will be up against the Hurricanes, who they were able to get a win against very recently. Then also the Brisbane Heat, they are going to be taking on the Sydney Thunder in what will be Chris Lynn versus Alex Hales. And that will be a battle at the top of the order. So be sure to check those live streams out as well. That one will be coming tomorrow for ourselves. Starc once again bowling as well, bowled, and they do get the single to close out that over, and it will be Stokes on strike now to maybe Nathan Lyon if they decide to give him the chance. But for the pools in the men's division of the sevens, it is going to be Pool A is as follows: South Africa, England, so it's split back off from Great Britain, Fiji and Scotland. So that will be a good group. Pool B, Australia, Ireland, Japan and New Zealand. So I feel like we should be able to hopefully do all right on that one. Pool C, Argentina, USA, Spain and Samoa. And then Pool D is Fiji. Sorry, that's a lie. Pool D is France, Kenya, Canada, and Wales as well. Then for the women's side of it, it is going to be Pool A, Australia, Spain, Ireland, and Poland. Pool B will be Fiji, USA, Canada, and New Zealand. And then Pool C, France, Russia, Brazil, and England as well. So they are all of the pools as well. We have also got there another situation as well. My girlfriend needs help some task. Wait for end of the day session as well. And it says Kevin there and chat as well. But now Nathan Lyon once again going to be bowling. That's a good thing. The flash takeaways are far away. Saves money. McDonald's and KFC are like bag sex. You become regretful afterwards as well. Says David. Never heard that saying before, but tell you what. That's an interesting shot from Ben Stokes there. Just tried a reverse sweep. He's sitting on 9 runs off 49 deliveries. And I swear I heard a little noise there as well. I think it was just making a noise. At Group A, it's hard G's for men's as well. Says Nathan Sim, yeah, South Africa, England, Fiji, and Scotland. And Oof as well there from Music Kiwi. Movement there. That turned a mile for Nathan Lyon at the moment. This is not easy at the moment for Ben Stokes, that is for sure. Facing the third delivery now. Nicely played once again with the block, but that is the thing. Somehow Ben Stokes needs to try and survive this, because at the moment Nathan Lyon, he is just bowling repeatedly in the right zone as well. Ben Stokes trying to work his way around the crease, trying to find a gap, find a way of just getting off the mark as well and just keep that strike rotating, or else he will get pegged down at the end like he is at the moment, because it is certainly Nathan Lyon who is having a little bit of the better of it as well. At the moment, Stokes sitting on 9 runs off 52. England still trail by 302 runs, and the shadows are starting to form on the pitch. And so Group A is the group of death as well. I'd say so. With Fiji, South Africa, England, like those three in themselves are probably right up there. And then you've also got Scotland, who might be able to cause 1 or 2 upsets every once in a while in their one. But I believe because they have got now 4 groups, it is going to now be, rather than the 3 groups, the top 2 and then 1 other. That's going to, Ben Stokes. He's living dangerously at the moment. That's going to be the end of the over. 65 down, and it is 176, or sorry, 171 for 6. What's the pools for? It is for the rugby sevens that are coming up in the future. So it is going to be in January that it will be in Malaga, and we will be covering that on the channel as well. We have got there, so only have fish and chips shop near you, Amish, as well. Says Kevin, yeah, pretty much. We have got, we've got a couple other ones. I think we have got an Indian place as well, and also our fish and chips is also Chinese. As well, and then also, what else we got? I think we got a Turkish, but I don't think it's very popular at the moment. Just woke up to get another England collapse as well, says Darren Smith. Yeah, not ideal for the English in this situation. They had a good combination going, 130-run partnership between Joe Root and Dawa Malan, but unfortunately, it was about it. Now it is going to be Mitchell Starc. He has been brought out of the bowling attack, and instead now it will be Jai Richardson, who is trying to throw something here at Chris Woakes, someone who we haven't really seen too much of And at the bars, Jai Richardson, he has done 14 over so far in this match, but also something that he normally does pretty well, Jai Richardson, is just get that pink ball to move a little bit. McDonald's as well, says Robert. We do not have a McDonald's here. 30 minutes up the road is our nearest McDonald's. Nicely bowled there by Jai Richardson. 130 Ks for that first delivery. So not a huge amount of pace, but that is probably understandable. He hasn't bowled in a little while. And also we have got there. So if they had a 139 run partnership, ain't that 41 for 7 as well, says Music Kiwi. 140. And there, I believe it was about 125 or 130, somewhere around there. But yeah, it does mean that everyone else has lost their wickets relatively quickly. And unfortunately, that has become a bit of a common occurrence for them at the moment. It seems to be every time 130, OMG, 130 partnership as well. Says that Music Kiwi there. Jai Richardson once again running in. It's pitched up. And that's going to be a good drive of the ball there from Chris Woakes. Picks up his first boundary and first runs of the game. And a half volley it is put away, and England now trail by 298. So getting closer and closer to being able to avoid the follow-on. That's the thing. England have a 2% chance of winning this game. Australia, 80%. And how is Chinese food or Indian food? It's curry, I suppose, as well, says Kevin Thomas there. And closest to me is a 6-minute drive, as well, says Nathan Sims. So pretty much here, like the Chinese, I normally just get a plain old chicken fried rice. Nothing too special. And then also the just fish and chips alongside it. And also Indian foods is curry, I suppose. Yeah, it is. We got off the edge. Oh, Steve Smith, once again, his hands must have glue on them because they're just all sticking at the moment as Macca's and 30 seconds to fish and chips driving as well. There's Nathan Sim. Like they're saying at the moment, it's like he's plucking fruit off the tree there, Steve Smith. Nothing is at all just going through his hands. He's just dove to the side, snatches it out of thin air. Like they're saying, if he was going, he'd save a few penalties. Nice. Another leaf. Once again, Richardson. Just trying to put a little bit of pressure on, like they're saying. It's not moving much at the moment, the pink ball. It's getting a little bit soft, but this cloud cover or the slow sunset might end up with a dangerous session later on in the day. Usman Khawaja at the moment just going, why does the ball stick to your hand, Steve Smith? While he is in the slips, I believe that is for David Warner, who's probably getting more strapping on his fingers. Usman Khawaja at the moment, he's looking very sad. I don't know why he looks so sad. I think it was just the camera that made him look like he was looking straight into the sun. Good ball there from Richardson, side of the off stump. And Woakes going to be feeling that one. And what happened to Stokes with the first ball as well, or with the first ball? Says David there. And also I stick barbecue image as well. So he's given there. What happened to Stokes with the first ball, or the last ball is that from David? Do let me know. But at the moment, for Stokes, he is sitting on 9 runs off 54. He really hasn't been able to rotate that strike too often, unfortunately, for him. But overall, it's actually been Woakes who has been doing well. Oh, it's Usman Khawaja's birthday here. I see. Off the edge. That one's gone through the slip cordon, and now that is going to be 4 runs for Woakes. And that's why he hasn't been in because he's catching good as well. Says that it was a Robert Miller there in the chat as well. But Jai Richardson going for 8 runs there. Gets the tap on the back from Travis here. Just going, don't worry about that one, mate. You're finding the edge, which is what we want in this situation. But 294 runs behind at the moment for England. They need to bring up that 300 to try and really put some sort of pressure back on the Australians, who have an 80% chance now of being able to win this game. England, I'm actually going to check the odds because I feel like that is another good way of working out exactly how they are sitting. So for England to be able to win this one moment it is loading. Australia are $1.19. England to win this test match from here is paying $30. And also a draw is paying $4.80 for anyone who is interested in those kind of numbers. Now it is going to be once again Nathan Lyon. Now this ball is starting to glow a little bit. We are in the shade, and it is going to be interesting to see how the end of this session goes. We've still got another 17 minutes left of this one. Once again taken by Steve Smith. Okay, like they're saying there, Nathan Lyon, he will be thinking that Stokes, he will go after him at some stage here, but Nathan Lyon, he will be trying to outplay him. And that it's kind of a game of cat and mouse at the moment. It's how much risk is Ben Stokes willing to take to try and get himself some runs here. He's just sitting 9 runs off 56 deliveries. The big thing is, if England end up losing their next 4 wickets quickly, Australia, I believe, will enforce the follow-on due to the fact that there is a little bit of rain. You never know. Usman, maybe asking Smith if he knows any good YouTube channels as well. Says Robert. Hopefully he did say, oh, yeah, I know one. Oh, actually, he's got a YouTube channel, doesn't he? Usman Khawaja, I believe. recently. I know that Pat Cummins also has one. I think they're the only two Australian cricketers that I know that do have YouTube channels. Pat Cummins, he actually became a vlogger at one point when he was in the IPL, but then most of the competition did end up, unfortunately, getting cancelled. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to say it. Stokes is overrated as well. Says that Music Kiwi there as well, but at this stage, sitting on 9 runs off 57 balls here for Ben Stokes. Just leaves that one outside of the off stump once again. So anyone who hasn't already, be sure to vote in that poll. Who will score more runs, Chris Woakes or Ben Stokes? Both rhyming. Then there's that keeper, isn't there, Folks? When you throw him in as well, it's just Folks, Stokes, and Woakes. I feel like if you say that very quickly, you'd end up saying some words that you don't want to say, but now it is going to be Ben Stokes on strike to Nathan Lyon. Gives himself some space, tries to whip it down the ground, and it is going to be once again another dot ball. Nathan Lyon at the moment. He seems like he is well and truly on top of Ben Stokes at the moment here, and he needs to find a way of breaking this chain because Nathan Lyon, he looks like he's going to keep on bowling. Anytime Ben Stokes tries to set himself early, he just moves. I already said Buttler as well in the chat. Says it was in there from Music Kiwi. At the moment, Stokes, 60 balls. He is almost faced here. This is going to be the 60th. And Nathan Lyon now, what does he do? It's going to be outside of the off stump, and Ben Stokes just leaves it hesitantly. He didn't want to. That's going to be the end of another over there for Nathan Lyon, and now they are sitting 179 for 6 now. So once again, another maiden persisting with Nathan Lyon at one end. And it seems like maybe they will do that right through to the break as well. It's definitely a very good way of getting through some overs as well for Australia. At the moment, 67 overs bowled to England today. I believe Australia, they would have bowled about 60 so far today. So they're actually going pretty decently. 15 more overs left of the day here, or sorry, of the session. No, 15 more minutes, not overs. Don't worry, we haven't quite got that much. But then after the session, we are going to be back for another one. And it should be a very exciting one indeed. At the moment, the shadow is starting to go across the ground of the Adelaide Oval. The final hour, it's when it is really going to get interesting for England. If they are batting, they will not be having too much fun, I wouldn't think. At the moment, Frankie is up on the roof. They are saying as well, I don't know why I actually said his name for Frankie, but he's pretty much one of the cameramen that they have got. But Woakes at the moment sitting on 8 runs of 13 deliveries. Stokes sitting on 9 runs of 60. So starting to build a little bit of a partnership, these two. And if they keep on going nicely, let's get there. Usman has good content on his channel as well. Says it Robert there in the chat. They are just talking about whether or not the commentators would actually go up on that Adelaide kind of, what's it called? The stadium rooftop walk. Would you guys go up there if you did get the chance to? Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen. If you were at the Adelaide Oval, would you go up on that roof? And even better question, would you go up there in the lightning storm? Because that's what they did yesterday for it as well. At the moment now, it is going to be Jai Richardson, sorry. Once again, another dot ball for him. He's gone for 52 runs so far, so he's probably the bowler at this stage. If Hazelwood is 100%, Hazelwood, I think, will replace Jai Richardson. And then Michael Nessa might get to stick around for a little bit longer if Pat Cummins is unavailable. Or also if Pat Cummins is back, but Hazelwood is not there, I think it will be Nessa. And also they will go with, I think they will go with Pat Cummins and Nessa as that kind of combo as well. But at the moment, they are still going to be continuing to try and get themselves a few more wickets. Nicely bowled, nicely pitched up, but a good forward defensive shot from Woakes once again to keep that ball out from the stumps. We haven't actually had anyone bowled yet in this one. In fact, we haven't even had an LBW. Everything has been caught so far, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And also, we've got the go up there, but not in lightning as well, says Robert there. And also, hi, Hamish, says Scott, welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. Hope you are excited for the Champions Cup that we have got on a little bit later on. 2 a.m. New Zealand time, Harlequins taking on the Cardiff side. And that is one of the 5 or so Champions Cup game out of the 10 that are actually taking place. Unfortunately, a few cancellations late. Well, that one, Jai Richardson pitches that one up. It's almost a half volley once again. And Woakes looks like he is going to be able to work that one away to the boundary. This is the thing. He has got his best of 137 not out, Chris Woakes, and he's looking like he is going to be going very decently in this one. I believe it was up against Ireland. A drop Marcus Harris. As I says Nathan Sim, who would you bring in? Would you go Usman Khawaja rather than him? And also, what about you, says Robert? I think I'm probably the same as you. I'd like to go up there and do it, but I wouldn't do it while it's like lightning. Even when it's raining, I feel like it would just be miserable up there. Like, because you wouldn't even get to see like a great view because of the clouds and everything. It would just be covering everything in the distance, as you could say. But now at this stage, Chris Woakes once again on strike. Jai Richardson still going for quite a few boundaries so far. It's going to be almost off the edge, and it is going to be the dot ball once again there. Oh, okay. I can hear the Barmy Army at the moment. 9:30 p.m. at the moment here in New Zealand, which means it is 7 p.m. over there in the Adelaide Oval. And that also means that we have only got another 10 minutes or so before we go into the end of the second one. So they've actually sent that man up to do the stadium walk. I feel like that would be a weird experience, being able to look down and look at the ground. And now Jai Richardson once again going to be charging in. Final ball of this over. It's off the edge. It's uppish, but it does fall short of Nathan Lyon. Good finish to the over, though, for Richardson. That is going to be now 183 for 6 now for England. 6 down now, and people sit roof to try watch cricket as well. So he's given there. Oh, it's pretty much, they have got a harness system that you are able to pretty much go around. I guess you could say it's like pretty much you attach yourself to a steel chain or like a steel pole type thing, and you walk around the ground from up above, pretty much on the stadium rooftop. And a nice one, Gary, as well. And then Pekowski made as well. Says Nathan Sim, although I think he has got a couple head injuries at the moment. Pekowski, if I'm not wrong, and also about time they do need Usman or bring in Matty Renshaw that plays for the strike as well. Will's injured Nathan as well, says Robert there. But now it is going to be Nathan Lyon. 13 overs in a row. He wants the wicket. I feel like each time Steve Smith's like, are you sick of it yet, Nathan? He'll be going, nah, I'm going to keep on going. It's well bowled, almost. Oh, tell you what, I think there was actually a little bit of bat on that Well Sounds Insane average as well. And damn in there, says that Nathan Sim, but Ben Stokes at the moment, he's not looking too happy at the crease. He's sitting on 9 runs of 61 deliveries. Looking frustrated, not being able to really get this ball away. I feel like there's a big shot coming soon for Ben Stokes. But then the question is, does he just hold out for the next 10 minutes so that no one gets exposed for the later stages? He's been able to work it away to the leg side, and Jai Richardson has been able to field that one nicely. Still wire, we did it in Brisbane 5 years ago as well, and I'd bring Prime Ponting as well. And there, and also, Yo says the 2 Aussies, welcome back into the live stream, mate. Woakes on strike now. I believe this is one of the first times we get to see Chris Woakes facing off with Nathan Lyon, other than, I believe, the very first over that Woakes made his way to the crease. What can Nathan Lyon do? I feel like with the experience that he has got, all he needs to do is get that one in slightly the right spot, and he might be able to pick up this wicket of Woakes, and it will be a huge wicket to get as well. I'm back, mate. How you going as well? I'm doing all right at the moment. It's going to be nicely played by Chris Woakes, and he gets himself the single as well. In that situation, like I mentioned, Chris Woakes, definitely no mug with about 137 not out. He was able to get in a test match up against, I want to say it was Ireland, if I'm not wrong there at the moment. Bit of a yawn. Ben Stokes once again on strike to Nathan Lyon. I was trying to stretch and talk at the same time. It's hard to do. Nicely bowled once again for Nathan Lyon there at the moment. 70 overs almost upon us here into this test match. So they have almost batted half of the time. Does some cricket stadium allow it on last day of the test match as well? So Kevin, I think it's actually on most days that you are able to go up there on the rooftop one. But I know that some grounds, they do allow people in kind of for a lot cheaper on the final day, depending on how long the session might go for. I think that is in New Zealand that does happen. I think we have it free entry on day 5 and then maybe day 4 as well. And they said, I said Woakes will make the most runs out of the batters because Stokes is playing very slow as well. Says the 2 Aussies there. Off the edge there of Ben Stokes, just outside of the reach of Steve Smith and Woakes. Stokes is moving up now onto 12 runs. Woakes actually sitting on 13 as well. So doing decently for himself, getting a little bit of a partnership going. They still need another 87 runs. It's good running between the wickets, getting the 2 runs for Ben Stokes. Labuschagne is on the leg side at the moment. They've decided to go with him as the bat pad on leg side rather than on offside, but that is going to be the end of that over. 69 overs in, and Smith has got 3 catches and slips as well. He has indeed, and also Warner able to take one a little bit earlier on in the day, but the shadows, they are still increasing over the ground at the moment. It's looking like a great day. It's looking like it's a little bit lighter than it is here in my background, but Jai Richardson at the moment, I feel like he just needs 1 wicket, and that will well and truly give him the confidence to keep on going at the moment. Those 16 overs, gone for 56. He started absolutely brilliantly last night, bowling 4 overs, just going for the 1 run of one of those overs. But if he can break through, get the wicket of Woakes, get the wicket of Stokes, either of those two. He still stings in, though. No matter what, he does put in 110%. It's going to be whipped to the leg side. Just going to be the dot ball, though. Fielded by Marcus Harris there, who is it was square leg. If World had to end tomorrow, what will be your last meal, Hamish, as well? Says it, Kevin. I would probably, last meal. Is it one item, or am I like full on like just eating everything? Because I feel like I haven't had a pizza in a while. I might have a pizza, or I might just end up going to the local fish and chip shop, although it would be closed, unfortunately, at this stage. So I think we would. That's the thing. Does everyone know the world's ending, or just me? Because that would be a lot of pressure. So then for pressure, I'd probably have to eat a whole heap of food. And then I'd probably eat like 10 pizzas. But that's going to be the 4 runs once again for Chris Woakes there, sitting on 17 off 21. Looking very comfortable at the crease at the moment here for Woakes. And also can pick anything, Hamish, as well. Says Kevin there. So I feel like I might get just a plain old pizza. Nothing special, just a pizza. You know, pizza's all right by itself. Some sort of probably old people say toast as well. Says Nathan Sim there in the chat. I mean, toast is all right, depending on the mood that you're in. But a toast with, I feel like, what do I have? I could have some pancakes. Oh, sorry, old people say roast as well. I was going to say toast seems like it's a bit anticlimactic, really. And bowler into double figures, bloody opening batsman as well. Says it was Sebastian there. It's always tough, isn't it? But that's the thing. Starc and also Nisa actually performed very well for Australia in terms of that batting lineup. So Stokes and Woakes here, both folks going to have to do decently. Going to be well played once again by Woakes here. Just not letting anything through at the moment. He's had a couple wedges early on in his innings, but most of them have been for the save. Now, they are saying maybe 3 balls remaining of this one, and then they will get one more over him before we get to the tea break. Joe Richardson got enough pace. They will actually be able to take the new ball after 10 more overs as well for the Australians. Maybe they bowl Nathan Lyon for the next innings, like pretty much the next start of the session, I should say, a little bit wide. And once again, it's the half volley. Joe Richardson, you can hear him in the background just screaming at himself. Nathan Lyon doing nicely with the fielding and has been able to cut it off nicely, and that is going to be kept to just the 2 runs in the end. So very well done by Nathan Lyon there. And like they've said, Joe Richardson, he has a line that he normally bowls, which is quite full on the off stump and kind of about maybe 3 stumps over. But unfortunately, that's where Chris Woakes scores a lot of his runs as well. We also got there. Richardson started with 3 or 4 maidens at the start. Now he's just getting smashed as well. And try the Teagle take out sticky barbecue wingers in the air fryer as well. As this Kiwi Gamer might have to give them a go. How long do you cook them in the air fryer for, Kiwi Gamer? Do let me know about now. It's going to be Joe Richardson once again steaming in. It's the short ball. Woakes smacks that one. And that's going to be 4 runs for Chris Woakes. Now he is sitting on a total of 23 or 24 deliveries here for Chris Woakes. At the moment, Joe Richardson, he's looking angry as he normally does. How long is the tea break for? It is going to be for 20 minutes. And then we will be back at 10 p.m. is when the next innings will be starting, or the next session, but we will be starting at 9:55. So we have got just a little bit of time beforehand. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. You guys all being here for this one. And we have got plenty more coming as well. But Joe Richardson still looking disappointed. He wants to pick up that wicket, but at the moment he is getting smacked around the ground by Chris Woakes. And Chris Woakes, average versus pace, when he gets given the short ball, only scores 15. That's the short ball there. There it is from Joe Richardson. That's going to be the end of the over now. 70 overs down, and England are sitting 197 for 6 here. I believe. Have we got one more? I think we have got one more over before we get to the tea break. So hopefully it does go all right there. $50 meters above the ground is where that stadium kind of rooftop thingamabob is. It must be so weird sitting up there watching the cricket from like an aerial view. Sorry, they'll look like ants out there, and it has the directions for the air fryer on the back of the bag as well. Says Kiwi Gamer, so I feel like that might be a decent go. Teagle takeouts, sticky barbecue wingers, as well as this Kiwi Gamer there. We're going to look, and also we've got there, come on, Lyon, your beauty as well. Says Amy Spencer, and also we've got there, it's good. How we got Root Malan out, and then Buttler and Pope out early as well, says the 2 Aussies here. Certainly 4 batsmen that if they do get set at the crease, they can sometimes go on to get themselves plenty more. Now it's going to be Nathan Lyon left once again by Ben Stokes. Final over of the session of the game. 5 balls left. Ben Stokes, he will just want to survive this. Whereas Nathan Lyon, he might throw up a couple more juicy deliveries in this one. See whether or not he can lure in Ben Stokes to try and hit this one a little bit harder and in the air as well. Nicely played once again by Ben Stokes. Been very safe to Nathan Lyon so far. 66 runs. That's a lie. 12 balls for, no, round the other way. Switch it up. 12 runs of 67 balls. He has been able to get himself. At the moment now, Nathan Lyon. Well played once again by Ben Stokes. He gets himself into an awkward position sometimes, steps way off to the offside, and then it does mean that if he does end up missing that ball, maybe a plum LBW shout for Nathan Lyon. The Australians, they have still got 2 reviews left, I believe, but they will get another one after the new ball is taken. I'm going to go out, I'll go at T and then come back when the game is back on, as I said, the 2 Aussies, although we will be on a new live stream for that next one for the final session. So be sure to check that one out as well when we do carry over. But now, Nathan Lyon once again, 3 balls left. Ben Stokes playing solidly. He just wants to get out of the session. At the moment, 28 runs for this partnership, and they trail by 276 runs to avoid the follow-on. The thing is as well here, Michael Nessa has hardly bowled. Mitchell Starc, he had a bit of a spell there. And now Nathan Lyon, if he keeps on bowling the way that he is, and that was Isha Amos as well there. Says, I don't think, wait, the lady up on the top of the stadium, are we talking? Or, because I think that's Kath, I think they said that her name is Ishigua, of course, in the commentary box, rather than up on the top of the stadium for that one. And also we have got there in the chat, I'm going to go at T. It's from the 2 Aussies. So yeah, they are just setting up Kath to try and lean backwards by the looks of it over the ground. So she's currently leaning backwards over the top of the stadium. That is not very fun, I wouldn't think. Oh, Ben Stokes falling down. Oh no. Okay, that's the end of the session. I thought Ben Stokes just did his hammy, and he might have. He looks like he's got a little bit of an injury there, Ben Stokes, but that is going to be the end. Cavs on the roof as well. Says that it was Robert Miller. There she is indeed. And now, nonetheless, that is 71 overs down. England sitting 196, but 4 wickets taken for England in that session. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. We are going to be coming back at 9:55 on the other one, so be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one in only 15 minutes